This is the Big O Show. 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 This is...
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and they're the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. Gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in that corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. See, getting some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, welcome aboard. Yes, sir, it is 10 a.m. Eastern time, and we are ready to rock and roll here at Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines, a spot we've been broadcasting from, I think it's like 14, 15 years now, dude. 14, 15 years. You've been broadcasting with me here for the last 4 years. Because every stop we've been, we had Zen part of the whole thing. Besides QAM, obviously they've been with me through the other messes, and then obviously this, which has been the blessing for both of us, the ultimate blessing for both of us, I think. Has this turned out to be your best radio gig so far? Yeah, right. Yeah. So. Oh man, it's been good. It's been good. Big O about to rip into the Miami Heat. Yeah, we'll rip a little bit into the Heat. It's, you know what? I should rip into myself. I'm the idiot. Really, I'm the moron more than anything else. By the way, for you little softies out there, here I'm about to rip myself. They seem to never hear when I rip myself, right? It's just, huh?
You're going to mention something somewhere along the line, and then they'll take it that way.
Right? Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. But I'm the idiot that keeps telling you that the Heat don't care about the regular season. Why should we? Why am I the a-hole? Because there's a lady down there. Why am I the a-hole that keeps watching every night? That it's like, why do I do this to myself? Like, why don't I just wait to the playoffs? Because that's when I was tripping out because Brady Hawk, you know, he works with Ethan over at 5 Reasons, right? And Brady does an excellent job covering the Heat. And obviously, you know, he's asking Jimmy about, well, how do you get this thing turned around? And Jimmy's like, well, I don't know. And, we'll get through this and all that. And it's just like I'm watching that video and I'm just going, this is just a load of shit. You know what I mean? Like, brother, come on, give me a break. Yeah, no, I know you'll get through this. Yes. When April rolls around, you'll get through this. Meanwhile, you're falling in the standings again because, and so why do I torture myself? Because I freaking love the Heat. But it really.
And there was nothing else on yesterday because the day
That's
before,
true.
at least you had
The
games,
Panthers.
you had Panthers.
I was watching the Panthers.
No, I know that, but at least there was
Yeah.
anything else on that you could watch.
Yes.
Because for me, even last night, like there was TNA on, so I went and watched that instead of the Heat. But for a while, I was watching the Heat, and
second half of the Lady Canes game was actually good.
And it's
they
funny
came
too,
back,
because
man. They just fell short. God, that was
ran out of time.
Coach Meyer, your team. I mean, they were getting their ass kicked in the first half, and then they fought back.
They've been struggling in ACC play, right?
Yeah, they're really bad right now in ACC play right now. They're hurting really bad. And if they would have won that game last night, it would have been awesome to win that game. What a great effort. That was more fun to watch the second half of the Lady Canes than the Heat.
Because they were playing. They gave effort.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, he got over 100 points, though, at least finally.
Yeah, because the other team got 150.
It's funny because
you figure if the other team's going to score 150, I know it's 143, but I'm Cuban. But if they're going to score 150, you got to get to at least 100, Jesus.
It was bad. I saw it halftime. I was like, my God. It was like 70 to 58 or something. It was like, I was like, oh.
Early third quarter, mid third quarter, you could check my tweet. And I say this all the time. Okay. This has been my slogan for the Heat for the last couple of years, but it goes through the game right now. Celtics starters have 15 threes. Miami starters have 10, a 2-point team in a 3-point world. And they were killing them with the three. And Miami can't do that on a consistent basis. They get streaky. They were really good in the beginning of the season.
Celtics usually shoot 65% from 3-point land.
Like they sucked all last year. But how about the Heat? Last year they sucked at 3.
Yeah.
And then the playoffs come around and they become
start hitting threes.
They become one. And so this season they were hitting threes early, and now they can't hit threes. And it's just like I don't know. I don't know. And so I'm a stinking hypocrite because I tell you all the time, why they don't care. Why should we care? And then here I am, an idiot, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about that last night, and I'm going, it's like, why do I torture myself with this all the time?
And then Butler trying to come up with anything just to be like, besides saying, I don't care about the regular season.
Right.
Because he can't, because the NBA.
And you know what? I thought about that when I'm watching that Brady Hawk video.
He starts doing
he starts doing a McDaniel. And Butler 7 of 11 for 17 points. I mean, you took 11 shots, dude. Come on.
How does Triple J Jaime Jaquez become such a focal point on that team? He just first year rookie. And it seems like he goes out and they fell apart.
Yep. He's the missing ingredient.
Is it the energy level that he brings?
He's a dog.
No, I know that, but I mean, is that the missing ingredient? Is just
apparently
somebody on the court that cares, I guess?
I guess. Bam, 14 shots on a night where you lost by 33. Hero, 14 shots, shot 5 of 10 from three-point range. Shot well, but, big three? Come on, man. Come on. Don't insult me ever again with that shit, big three. That's the stuff that, yeah. So I'm ripping myself more than anything else, okay? I'm ripping myself because it's insanity to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. And I end up just frustrated watching this team in the regular season because they have a star that has set a standard that the regular season does not matter. And so I'm an idiot. So, and I'll be watching again tomorrow afternoon at 3:00 against the Knicks. And they're going to lose that game.
I'm done. I will not watch another Heat game till playoffs. That's it. I'm done. I'm not wasting any more time. I don't care. Done. You don't care. I don't care. I'll hit the buffet while the game's on. I care about the buffet.
Well, the buffets, that's a hell of a lot more consistent than the Heat. It's like they have nothing, bro, during the regular season. What a shame. What a shame. Jamie Zoria is in the house. Number 1 here on the roll call. Steve Chapman. Everybody is starting to see what we all knew from the beginning. It was all Brady. Good morning and happy Friday to all, says Omar Geiner. Ray Sosa is in. Are we really surprised he got smacked by the Celtics? No, not really. I didn't expect them to win at all yesterday. But yes, right. Give them a game. Like after the thorough embarrassment from the Memphis Grizzlies game, you've lost what, 5 in a row now? 6 in a row? 4 in a row? 5 now, right? 4 in a row. You're going into that game. You figure, come on, guys, let's go. And garbage. Sneak Attack 305, Steven Gonzalez. Let's see. Omar Lopez, Lucon, Drago, Louis M., Lisa Rose, Kyle Cockrell, One-Eyed Jack. Oh, why not try to get Philly to trade for Fangio? You start creating a whole problem with all of that. And the guy didn't want to be here. They probably didn't also want him to be here. So it just, and you're trying to build a staff. Why create more problems? You're a young coach. Just move on. It didn't work. It wasn't a fit for everybody. Move on. Just, I think that's the best thing to do at this point. I don't have a problem with it, really, to be honest.
Because then you start building a bad rep.
Yeah.
As far as he's not gonna let you go, and not necessarily let you go, but it's gonna be a fight every time.
By the way, Philly and Miami have a very good trading relationship. They have made several trades.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
So and so here's where they kind of accommodated again. So there's a cordial back and forth with Miami and Philadelphia. So I just it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just let it go at this point. And clearly they didn't want him around also to a certain extent. He didn't want to be here, so just let him go and move on, dude.
And you're off that $4.5 million.
Yeah, $4.5 million. Yeah.
Not that it affects anything, but
yeah, Ross
in the long run, it doesn't affect. But I mean,
yeah, Ross doesn't give a shit. Ross never cries poor.
No.
I give him credit about that. He doesn't pull a John Henry on us. Ugh, you know what I'm saying?
That's why the Heat where they're at right now, by the way, too.
Right.
Mickey Harrison and damn taxes.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Uber Beaner, Horn Dog is in. I just bet the Chefs this morning. They're getting 4 points. It went up to 4. I took it. I was going to take it at 3.5. I saw it this morning at 4 on the Hard Rock app. I took the Chefs, dude. I think the Chefs are going to win the game, but you're going to give me 4 points. I got Pat Mahomes and 4 points. Yeah, I'm doing it. I don't care who they're playing. Yeah, hell yeah. I love that bet now, dude. Chefs, baby. Let's see. Giovanni, of course. Ronnie P. Lofi. Let's see. Jamesville, Chad. Cap for Life. Brian Landis, Coach AJ, Nick, Chad, Duck Dog is in, Alexis, Saw the Man. Thank you out there, everybody. Appreciate you all. And don't forget Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. John White, thank you on the Venmo. Have a great weekend. Keep grinding. Always appreciate your work. Your friendly PE teacher. Thank you, John. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As always, you can support our great sponsors and you can support our show by also making a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. All right, let's talk a little Dolphins football with the one and only Cameron Wolfe. We will unleash the Wolf Pack right now.
We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network Insider Cameron Wolfe. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL Insider Cameron Wolfe.
All right. There he is, about to jet set. Where are you going?
Going to the golf course, man. First round in a few months, man. It's almost started my off season, so I'm gonna start it off with some golf.
Okay. All right. Where are you going? What golf course?
Just a Cooper Colony. It's a neighborhood course up not too far. Just gonna hit a few balls around.
Okay. All right. Your thoughts on the Vic Fangio divorce with the Miami Dolphins? And some fans are wondering why no trade instead, but I think it was kind of one of those things that everybody wanted to kind of part ways. But you tell me what you know.
Well, first of all, I don't believe that you can trade coordinators. I think that's just a head coach thing.
Okay.
I don't think there's been any examples of that. I may be wrong, but I don't think there's a pipeline of trading coordinators.
You know, now that I think about it, you're right. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember an assistant coach ever getting traded or coordinator. You're right.
Yeah. So I would have to look deep into the rules if it's even allowed, but I think that's largely a head coach thing. I don't even think you can trade general managers, honestly. I think it's just a head coach and player thing.
Wow. Now that I think about it, yeah, there's been no personnel director or general manager ever traded. Yeah, dude, you're right. It's only been head coaches.
Yeah, so I think that's just a head coach thing, although I'm sure people want as much assets as they can, given the offseason the Dolphins have ahead. As far as the move, I would say I was a little surprised. I did not think that Fangio was going somewhere. Now, once I think it's become clear publicly what some of the reasons are, that part does not surprise me. I've heard some of those same things throughout the year. I just don't think it's necessarily my standing to lay out players' grievances, because players always have grievances. But yeah, I think this was just a situation of the fit was not maybe exactly what they thought. I think Mike McDaniel probably knew that Vic Fangio was a rougher personality, could be stubborn at times, but when you face it full head every day in the building, I think it's a little different. And so, coaches felt that, Mike McDaniel felt that, players felt that. And I think for Vic, it was always a situation where he wanted to be the Eagles defensive coordinator last offseason. And they had a little tampering situation with Jonathan Gannon, who was their defensive coordinator going to Arizona, that really held up the situation. And I think Vic was kind of stuck with, do I take the bird in the hand that's going to pay me, $4 or $5 million a year, or do I wait and see if this Philly thing comes to fruition? And he took the Miami job. And so he gets an opportunity to go home closer to his family. And I don't think there's a lot of tears being shed in that Dolphins locker room.
Yeah, no, I think it was obviously he didn't want to be here. So you move on and part ways with him. I think that made a lot of sense. But obviously there must have been a bad fit on the other end of it. And who knows, man? Maybe the coach in the front office thought, no, you got to find a way to get Cam Smith on the field, and little things like that may have rubbed them the wrong way, not adjusting and using Jalen Ramsey to shadow somebody or something like that, or blitzing, or even when you played the Ravens, you didn't blitz Lamar more, which that proved to be very successful the last 2 years against him. Which I'm, by the way, I'm actually shocked that more people did not see that blueprint that Miami used the last 2 years and use it actually against him. So yeah, there were different things that I could imagine from their side. They were questioning Vic too.
Yeah, and I would say like just to keep this balanced, because that's kind of the way I go journalism wise. I would say if you ask Vic and he was honest with you, which he tends to be, he would probably say that he didn't feel like he got the full all-in back either. I think that he was probably given a roster that was largely not his guys,
right?
A draft that was largely not his guys, and he had to adjust with it. And so there probably could have been a little bit more on both sides, the Dolphins and Vic Fangio's side, to go all in on this sort of marriage. And as a result, they kind of were looking at each other with side eyes all year and trying to make it work. And to their credit, I mean, it was a 10th ranked defense at the end of the year, although towards the end, injuries started to become a huge issue. So the scheme and the actual production, I think, was less of an issue than like personalities, relationships, and ultimately what people wanted out of this marriage.
Devin Jordan is sending in a super chat. He's got a question. He says, "Big O and Cam, do you think there was tampering from the Eagles?" There's tampering everywhere. You know what I mean? So that's. I mean, the agent for Vic Fangio could easily be talking to the Eagles, and none of us would know or anything like that. So that kind of stuff, unless you have the hard evidence to it, I'm sure there was tampering, because I'm sure everybody tampers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Tamper is like holding. You can call it on every play, right? I would also say this, like, I don't know how many people care about how the sausage is being made part of it. Vic Fangio also shares an agent with Mike McDaniel. And so they both have the same agent.
Right.
Because of that, I think that it's probably unlikely that the Dolphins essentially challenge Vic Fangio and Mike McDaniel's agent for tampering. I don't know if Mike would love that.
Right.
And so I just think there's a lot of stuff that behind the scenes that's not even going to be, in my opinion, something that they pursue. Now, yeah, Vic Fangio probably agreed to a deal within 24 hours of being lost. I do think it's hard to believe there was no idea that he would get that job. I'm sure there was an educated belief that, hey, if this mutual parting happens, we can make this happen. Now, but that's not something you can necessarily prove in tampering per se.
Right, of course.
Yeah, and I told you the connection there was obvious. It's not like it was a shock. He was talking to the Eagles last offseason. He was a consultant with the Eagles last year, and so he was already in the building. He was already having relationships with these folks. It didn't work out timing wise, and then when the Miami situation looked like it was a little rocky, I think it was a perfect kind of parachute for Vic Fangio.
All right. Who gets it, Hill or Campanelli? Or do they go outside? I personally think they go inside, because Mike McDaniel needs to have a little good PR inside his staff, and promoting from within, I think is the kind of PR he needs at this moment in time, and continuity. So I think they'll stay inside and in-house, not go outside like Brandon Staley or some other names that people have talked about. You tell me what you know.
Yeah, I think we're early in the process. I would tell you this, and I tweeted about this. I think Anthony Campanelli would be a great option for the defense coordinator spot. I've talked to 2 or 3 players who vouched for Campanelli and said that's the guy that they want. I know there's coaches on the staff who want Campanelli as the guy. And so, to me, that would make sense as the internal option. Obviously, you have Ronaldo Hill, who's a pass game coordinator, is another option. But I do think they'll bring candidates in externally to interview. Brandon Staley obviously has been a name button around, and I think he will get an interview. He's another guy who has the same agent as Mike McDaniel, and so there's a shared connection there. He comes from the Vic Fangio tree, So he would run a same scheme or similar scheme. And so you wouldn't have to teach your defense another scheme all over again. But then he would have to answer the questions. And I'm sure the fan base wouldn't love the fact that his defense has been bad with the Chargers for the last 3 years when he was a head coach. And so I think there would certainly be some concerns from that respect. But he's a guy that makes sense. Jiro Viro, who's the defensive coordinator for the Panthers, he's currently under contract, and the Panthers haven't let him interview for jobs so far. But I do know Mike McDaniel has a lot of respect for him. I'd imagine he would.
Oop. Oh, he dropped? Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. We are waiting for Cam. He is going to hook up again. Hey, don't forget, we're going to have a shooting competition next Wednesday at Top Gun Indoor Range. Prizes, giveaways, and we got a trophy and everything. Trophy or plaque, I'm deciding, because they can do more fancy stuff with the plaque. So either one, but got a prize for you. So we'll try to make this every quarter thing. Cam, you're back. Go ahead and finish what you were saying there, because you kind of went out.
Ejiro Viro is a guy who has a lot of respect in this league. I know Mike.
Okay. No audio. No audio again. No audio. No audio. No audio. No audio. Let's see if we can get Cam back. Isn't it fun live? It's a lot of fun live. Can't hear him. Nope. Can't hear. Anyway. So Top Gun next Wednesday, the 31st, 7 p.m. Okay. Come on out and join us. There's the address, 12015 Southwest 114 Place. Bring your gun. I think we'll have a couple there, too, for you to shoot. I'm going to bring my 9mm. And, by the way, everybody that competes in the competition, I will give them a Big O T-shirt. So there you go. All right. I think Cam is back. All right, Cam, let's see if you stop screwing with your mic and you can actually finish your statement there.
Yeah,
sir.
You got me here? You can hear me?
We got you.
Yeah, no, I was saying before, Ejiro Viro, Brandon Staley, those are a couple internal options that make sense for me. Viro's under contract with the Panthers. They haven't let him interview anywhere. So he may not be able to get out, but I know Mike McDaniel and a lot of the league has a lot of respect for him if they don't go with the internal option.
Okay, but what's your gut tell you? Because I kind of think to the continuity purposes too, they might go internal.
Well, I think Mike really does like the Fangio style defense. Maybe just not the Fangio style personality may not have gelled with everybody, but the Fangio style defense. And so I think that he'll give every look to somebody that runs the Fangio style defense. But I think if he made a poll, and I'm sure they told him in exit interviews, because I know they had exit interviews with players last week. If he made a poll of that defense locker room, I'd be pretty sure that the favorite vote would be Anthony Campanella.
Yeah, well, I mean, that'll be good. There'll be a lot of cussing, which is always fun to hear. So nothing wrong with that. We look at Mike McDaniel. Have you? One of the things I got from the building was he's taken this stuff really personal. You know, a lot of the shortcomings and the failures and all that. I don't know what you're hearing, but if you needed to suggest something that Mike McDaniel needs to change next year, what is it?
I mean, I struggle with that because, like, he's a lot better at his job than I am at his job. So I'm sure he knows. I think some things from, like, a game plan perspective that stood out to me is, like, in-game adjustments, right? Like, that's something we've talked about. I think that's something that I would probably say would be a focus point. How to get your offense to travel with you on the road, how to get those motions and and the elements that didn't necessarily work on the road to work on the road with silent counts. I think those are things the whole offense will work on. I don't know if that's a Mike McDaniel scheme stuff as much as like Tua has to figure out with the offensive line how to manage those elements. But those are probably the two elements that stand out to me the most. And then he's got to nail this defensive coordinator, right? Like this is the third defensive coordinator in 3 years. And so I think that's going to be important to have some level of stability at that spot and really the whole staff going forward.
So we're blaming Danny Crossman's assistant, but not Danny Crossman.
I don't know that all the moves are done yet, but yes, as I reported yesterday or a couple days ago, whenever I put it out, Brendan Farrell, the assistant special teams coach, not coming back, and then they got rid of 3 offensive assistants who didn't have a room, but offensive assistants. This week, I'm told they were supposed to go over the defensive coaches, and then the Vic Fangio news happened, so I'm not sure how much that affects the decisions there because they're going to bring in a new coordinator who obviously will have an opinion on this current staff. Kenny Baker, their assistant D-line coach, is going to Texas to become a D-line coach. So that's another move there. But yeah, I'm not sure if the final decision's been made on Crossman, but he, as of when I talked to people a couple days ago, was still on staff. So yeah.
He's not if he's still here now, I think he's safe, actually. This last week was about players, this week was about coaches. If you've made your decision already, I think he survived. Why? I have no idea. I cannot figure out for the life of me how Danny Crossman is still employed with the Miami Dolphins. That one is wow. That one is way up. Dude, I would have fired him way ahead of Josh Boyer. Way ahead of Josh Boyer. Okay? I don't get that one at all, Cam. I really don't understand. All right, last thing. The Tua contract, will it happen right here early in the offseason to create the space? Or they already they actually have a lot of other options to really create the space. If they really wanted to, they can do it other ways. As I've predicted already for a while, Wilkins is not coming back. So that's going to be a big, wide open $20 million of space that's going to be there. So you tell me, does the Tua contract, because I'm convinced the Tua contract will happen. He will get the extension. I just don't know when in this process. Will it be early in the offseason or will it be something later in the June time?
Yeah, I don't know if I expect it early in the offseason. I think it's a complex deal. I don't think it's something the Dolphins are forced to do for cap space purposes. Obviously, it would help, but I think they can make enough moves so that it's not feeling like their pressure is we have to get this done so that we can make moves.
So you agree with me that Wilkins is gone?
I think that if he's going to get the deal he wants, the Dolphins are going to have to raise their money up a lot, and Chris Greer does not seem to be that guy in the past.
Okay, so you agree with me. He go. He ain't getting that money here. He's not getting that money here, bro. Not getting that money here. He's not. So you think it's like a June deal?
I don't know what time. I can't promise you it could be tomorrow, but I do not think that it's if I had to guess based on what I know, I don't think this is a deal that's getting done before free agency.
Post June. Kind of the X-Men. He probably will be a post June cut. It's probably what will happen with him, right?
I would hope, and I would think, based on his time here, they wouldn't drag him out like that. Because the one thing with players with getting cut late in that situation is it sets them up for failure as far as free agency. And so I would hope for a guy that's put in as much time as X that they would at least give him an idea early whether he's going to be on the roster or not.
Really? So X didn't put them through any hell the last 7-8 years?
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sure.
Okay.
But I'm just saying,
okay.
Given how business is done, I think that would be a little bit of a stab, which, like I said, businesses do that, teams do that. And so nothing would shock me. I would just say for a homegrown guy that's, probably one of the best cornerbacks you've ever had in franchise history.
No doubt.
I think that you try to at least give him a heads up that he's going in March, if that's the case.
Yeah, the thing is, you have to do cap-wise what's best for your team, and I think him unfortunately, it's a post-June cut for him because cap-wise,
you can designate people as a post-June cut without it being in June.
Okay. All right. I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah.
So then he can negotiate a deal, but he won't be able to sign it till post-June.
You won't be able to access, like the Dolphins wouldn't be able to access that money until after the date, but you can designate him that for cap purposes.
Okay, and then he can negotiate a deal at least to have for post-June, right? Because technically he won't be able to sign the deal.
You can release a player in
you
March.
Okay.
Designate him as a post-June cut. Let him move on, sign his own team. You just won't get the cap benefits until post-June.
Oh, okay. So then they'll do that for sure. Yeah, that makes sense. That helps them and helps him.
Right.
Yeah.
The one thing is teams sometimes do what you were suggesting if they're really trying to shaft a dude who's making a lot of money and they want to try to bully him into a pay cut and say, hey, we're going to keep you into the roster until June or July. Right. And then they try to make you take a deep pay cut and say, hey, well, good luck on the market. And by that point, all the money's dried up. And so you're either forced to take the pay cut or get less on the market. And so that's what I was saying. I hope they don't just drag him along in that respect just to try to get him to take a massive pay cut.
No, that's good info. No, I think they're moving on from him overall. I don't think it's about a pay cut or anything like that. I think they're going to move on. Unfortunately, I think shit like that happens. All right, man. Hit them straight. Have a great weekend. We'll catch up on Tuesday, my friend. Thank you, sir.
Sounds good. Appreciate you.
You got it. There you go. KSDT CPA. Miami Dolphins report with the one and only Cameron Wolfe. And, of course, call our friends at KSDT CPAs for your personal taxes, for your business taxes. And listen, man, whether it's tax, advisory, assurance, accounting, when it comes to business taxes, for those of you out there, you know it. You own the business. You know how it is. You need that guidance all throughout the year. And the great thing that KSDT does, and by the way, they're a top 200 firm by Forbes magazine, and tax and accounting firm. So for both reasons, for accounting and for tax, they're top 200 in each by Forbes. So call the folks at KSDT CPAs. There's the number 305-670-3370. That's 305-670-3370. And also, if you're looking for work in Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach counties, they've got offices in Dade, in Broward, and in Palm Beach. So you're not going to have to drive to one county. If you live in Palm Beach, you might be able to work in the office in Palm Beach. And they opened up a new office in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they're also, by the way, hiring there in Charlotte, North Carolina. It seems like everybody's always is hiring. So make sure you reach out to the great people at KSDT CPAs, 305-670-3370, or use that QR code that's there. That is your KSDT CPA Miami Dolphins report.
This has been the KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL insider Cameron Wolfe. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
I didn't realize that with Camp when he brought it up, that no assistant coaches have ever been traded. No assistant coaches.
There's quite a few little nuggets in that interview there.
Yeah, no GM. No GM has ever been traded. No assistant GM.
Not even talks, right? There's never been talks of a GM.
No. I think it's not allowed.
Yeah, no, so it's just head coaches. I guess
it's just head coaches. That's it. You traded for Shula. There's we traded for Riley, but that's a different sport. Who was traded? John Gruden was traded from the Raiders to the Bucks. What other coach was traded recently in the last 20 years? Is there another coach? It doesn't happen. No, of course not, because it's the guy has to be awesome for you to trade him. So you don't want to part ways with him. So, yeah, but it's tough. Yeah, so there you go. You really couldn't. For those of you that were already ready to, rip the Dolphins, they should have traded for him. Well, you can't. So, but I think in this case, man, you just want to get out of this situation. It wasn't comfortable, and they probably want somebody else in there, and That's it. What are you going to do, right? It is what it is. Let's see. Lenny says, good morning, Big O, Sean, and the rest of you out there. The Heat need to make major changes during this coming off season. We need size and athleticism. What they need to do is they should have traded Jimmy Butler a couple of years ago. Now you got to try to trade him however you can this by a trading deadline or in the offseason. The problem is it's going to be near impossible because almost no team can take on Jimmy Butler's character and salary. And they all see what we all see. He doesn't want to play in the regular season. So he's not really helping us that much in the regular season. We have to wait to the postseason. That hurts you in the standings. As you can see with the Miami Heat, that they're headed to the bottom of the standings again in the playoff. And you know, last year they got to the finals, but that might have been the worst thing that happened to them. Maybe the best thing would have been a first-round exit, and then maybe they would have been trying this year to play at a higher seed.
Yeah. It seems to happen every year, right, though?
Yeah. No,
like even with the COVID year, it was like that team.
Right.
If it wasn't COVID, is it the same? Because they almost win. The bubble is the Heat's. Basically, all you're doing is being with your team. That's what the Heat culture is. You gave them their environment.
Yeah, working.
To fully function in, and they took advantage of it.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. You're right. Don't forget, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo, and you can send in your questions, comments, and insults there. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Lofi says Crossman has a copy of the tapes from Greer. He's got to have naked pictures of somebody. Maybe he's got Stephen Ross naked doing the waddle, the penguin. You know, maybe they got him doing waddling or something. I don't know. But he's got some pictures, Lofi. Somebody. Let's see. Stephen Harris, good morning. Thank you, sir. Good morning to you. Jamesville in Caroon, Big O, Sean, not good news for Vince McMahon. The allegations are brutal. Oh, yeah, sex trafficking. I saw that this morning. I didn't read too much into it, but is there any, like, real substance to this story? I didn't read into it. You know about it? Because you...
Yeah, it's a very disturbing story. It's very disturbing. Everything that goes along with it. I mean, it was a lady that was down. It was a lady that was down, like her family. There were some issues, and then he basically started giving her gifts, and apparently bought a penthouse in her building that she lived in, and like it goes more. It
was a side piece.
It lays out that way, but there's acts that were done that's just like.
Oh, okay, that kind of stuff. So he made her do some crazy stuff. Did you ever see 9.5 weeks?
Crazy is not the word for it, buddy.
Did you ever see 9.5 weeks?
9.5 weeks, yeah. I think so. I see 9.5 weeks. No, not
Mickey Rourke making this woman do all kinds of. You guys,
I have not seen that one. No, 9.5 weeks. No, not seen that. Not with Mickey Rourke.
Some TV viewing for you all out there. Some of you have seen 9.5 weeks. Most of you are kind of, in the older class. And most of you young people and middle-aged people, I'm going to say middle-aged, like 30s and maybe early 40s, you have no idea what 9.5 weeks is all about. You should watch that movie. Okay? That I think that might be this woman's, what's her name now? The blonde. Forgetting her name now, really pretty, might be acting-wise, it might be the greatest role of her career overall. That was an effed up movie, bro, 9.5 weeks. You should watch that one. So,
yeah, and then another name came into the development, Brock Lesnar.
McMahon and Brock Lesnar were in that thing?
Well, no, apparently Brock Lesnar's name was brought up because she was ordered to send pictures to Lesnar. And supposedly was supposed to be meeting up with like Lesnar, like that's part of the sex trafficking part of the allegations right now.
Wow.
And and there was.
Does she have like physical proof of this?
There are texts.
Oh, wow.
There are texts. There are.
Okay.
And again, Vince McMahon and then all his people are vehemently denying it.
Of course, TKO
has taken the seat as Vince McMahon since we became TKO has not been a part of the day-to-day activities.
Right.
So they distance it as quickly as they can. The problem's going to be this. The first time when Vince McMahon was allowed to come back, there was a special committee that was brought up to look at these allegations. The allegations from everything. And this is still stemming back. This was one of the allegations from before. And Stephanie McMahon was on that board. Triple H was on that board. And per the lawyer of the lady that's giving the allegations,
Kim Basinger, yes.
All that she was asked was, would you cooperate? They never talked to her after that. She said, yes, I'll cooperate. Nobody ever talked to her.
Right.
Vince McMahon came back. So that committee
was
founded
biased.
Exactly. But now Triple H is running the day-to-day for the WWE side of TKO.
Huh.
So was it a cover-up then? Or, again, this is the stuff that they're going to have to deal with now because those people are still there.
Right.
Vince isn't there, but the people that said, and he came back before he left again, before the sale.
They'll get rid of McMahon and they'll reprimand them and then move on.
More than likely, but it's a very bad. And when you read the story and the things, I'm not going to say what it says in the things, but if you get a chance and you look at the report of what comes out from that, it's not. It's
oh man.
For everything Vince McMahon was, if these allegations are true, he deserves what he gets.
All right. I certainly don't pull for anybody like that. Big O recovering from hernia surgery. I have Sydney Sweetney as my nurse and Halle Berry. Big O, look it up. Sydney Sweetney. I'll look it up. By the way, Sunday I'm going to go to Kansas, not the state, the concert. They'll be Sunday at the Alren Theater, right? I think it's how it's pronounced in Broward, the Broward Center. And for those of you that if you're a Kansas fan, later on this afternoon, I am going to talk to Ronnie Platt, and Ronnie, of course, is the lead singer for Kansas, and he's going to join me in the afternoon, so it'll be dropping sometime early afternoon, early evening. Look for it, an interview with lead singer of Kansas, Ronnie Platt, so we'll have some fun with him. I'm going to go on Sunday to catch that. But, yeah, Brian Landis says, sexy movie, LOL, watched it when I was 12. So, yeah, Kim Basinger is incredibly sexy. Good, really good soundtrack, too, if I remember correctly. But, yeah, he made her do some crazy stuff, too. Yeah, you may want to check that one out. JR says, you may disagree, but I believe the Finns' small window is just about closed. Mike will get fired in a year or two, and we'll be back at rebuilding. All right. Any crazy trade out there for an impact player using our first-round pick? Nothing right now, sir. There's nothing. We're in the middle of a season. Nobody's talking about that right now, man. That happens in the off season. That happens in the combine and stuff like that down the line. That's when all that stuff happens. It doesn't happen now, my brother. But hey, listen, you'll have plenty of people that'll come up with a whole bunch of useless trades that mean nothing, and you guys can talk about it. But I'm not really into the ridiculous hypotheticals that all they do is waste time. Didn't WWE just sign a major deal? What a coincidence this comes out now. WWE signs a major deal every 6 months. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think it has to do with that. Maybe that woman's just going after McMahon and wants to Wants to get her.
Yeah, this has been going on for a little while. But also, the interesting thing was right before AEW's pay-per-view last month, Chris Jericho had allegations against him brought out. WWE has the Royal Rumble Saturday. Now allegations. These hit the main frame again. So it's about timing, whether you like it or don't like it. It's all about timing.
She was on Lotus season 1. Yeah. I was not as impressed as so many were with Lotus. Yeah, you liked it? I saw the White Lotus. I saw the first season. I was like, whatever. And I had no interest in seeing the second season. Let's see. Big O, is it weird that when I got my colonoscopy, the doctor dimmed the lights, lit up some candles, and started playing Barry White? Maybe he wanted to make you feel comfortable, Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Mostert asking for money. I don't know. Is he asking for money? Dolphins should not trade a first-round pick. They need to build with young draft picks. Yeah. I have a feeling Greer is going to use Wilkins and our first-round pick to get into the top 10. Wilkins is not under contract, Drago. How can you trade someone you don't actually have under contract, dude? You guys got to know what the hell you're talking about, because then you go off and then somebody else repeats it and it gets on a life of itself, and the guy's not even under contract. The Dolphins don't own Christian Wilkins anymore in just a couple of days. When the new league starts, he's free. Unless they tag him, and they're not going to tag him. So you can't, huh? Yeah, no, but you can't tag him and trade him. You have to sign him to trade him.
Yeah, and then either way, you're on the books for money.
Yeah, because you're going to give him a big ass signing bonus, and then it gets accelerated into your cap. It's like, Drago has no idea what he just said. There's no shot. You're done. Unless they tag him, that's the only way to keep him or sign him for a long-term contract. But once you sign him, you're not trading him, Drago. Okay, so Christian Wilkins is gone. History in the archives. He will price himself out. He will ask for more money than he asked last year when he was already in the Quinnen Williams neighborhood. He will definitely be in the Quinnen Williams neighborhood, and maybe even a little more, because of another year has gone by. And Miami's going to say thanks, but no thanks. They're also going to tell him, yeah, you got one sack that was against a good team. All the other ones were against crappy teams. Have a great career. We appreciate everything you did. No, that you can't franchise tag him and then trade him. I'm pretty sure you can't do that. I'm like 99% sure you can't franchise tag and trade him. And you can't even sign him to a long-term deal and then trade him, because that would be asinine. Because you would have to, no, I don't even think you can do it, because they would want their signing bonus. Yeah, no. Chris Perkins said to franchise tag Wilkins and re-sign. Yeah, you could do that. Definitely. You franchise tag him, and then after June, you work out a long-term contract, or right before June, the June deadline, I think, to work out that contract. That's what it is. You could do that, but it's not going to happen. They're not going to tag him, and they're not going to sign him to a long-term contract. He's walking right out the door, and you'll get a compensatory pick, third rounder next year in 2025. That's what's going to happen. Trust me on this. Okay? Trust me on this. What's that? You can tag and trade? That doesn't, well, but if you tag and trade them, then they have to have that hard cap space. I know, I don't think you can. I think that complicates stuff. Once you tag them, I think it complicates it. Either way, it's not happening. No, nobody's going to trade for him when he's going to become a free agent, and they know Miami's not going to keep him, so they're not going to tag him and risk doing. Yeah, it's not. It just doesn't.
Are there differences between non-exclusive, exclusive transition?
Yes. Now that's different. I'm talking about franchise tag. The non-exclusive, you can. The non-exclusive, you can make a move because it's a lesser. Because that has to do with matching. That's what we're talking about, and that's not going to happen either. Nobody's going to do that stuff. They're not going to match and then give you 2 first-rounders for Wilkins. That's not going to happen. But the transition tag is a lesser draft pick. I think in his case, it might be a second or third rounder. So that may be a little different.
There's different conditions under each of the tags and different things. So, but again, it's not going to happen.
Right. It's just let it go already. Let it go. He will not be re-signed. He will not get a long-term contract. Okay? He will head to free agency, and Miami will get a compensatory pick next year. And he'll get a big deal, so you'll have a third rounder. Now, it depends on what Miami then acquires themselves in free agency to kind of offset that. So it might hurt that. So if they acquire a certain free agent, it might knock that third down to their fourth rounder. Something like that. Or a fifth rounder, depending on who they acquire in free agency. Let's see. Big O Google Sydney Sweetney. Oh, okay. You're already like all over this thing. Sydney Sweetney. Okay. Let's do it with Sydney Sweetney. Let's see. Well, that's your problem because you're on an Android. I'm on iOS. I'm safe. She's a blonde. I can see. I'm hitting the images. Let me see. Where the hell is it here? There we go. Sydney Sweetney. Yeah, it looks like a cute little girl, I guess. I don't know who she is. She's all right. She's in Top Gun. Top Gun indoor range? Yeah, she's all right. Let's see. Oh, Sweeney, not Sweetney. Yeah, I did Sweeney. It brought up Sweeney anyways. Yeah, I saw her. Yeah, she's all right. Let's see. What else? Raekwon Davis needs to go. Yeah, he's not, yeah. Unless he signs like a, veteran deal, it's a minimum deal or something. They bring him back as a rotational player or something, but you definitely don't give him any kind of contract. Skylar says she's gorgeous, but no booty. Yeah, she's cute. Yeah, she's all right. Sorry, I'm not paying Wilkins more than Sealer. Thank you for your services. I wish you the best, Chris. Exactly. That's it. Big O, let me know what you think of. What the hell? Okay. Let me see now. Erica. What do you got here? Where is it again? Let me see. Where the hell is it? I got to find it again now. Oh, here it is. Yes. ER. Now, is this like don't tell me this is like a porn star. You guys are making me bring up some nasty stuff here. Oh, no, I know I am on the I, but I mean, come on, Irafili, and then Feely. Oh, SF? Oh. Okay, there we go. Got you now. Holy shit. Yeah, she's that's a curvy woman right there, bro. That's a curvy woman right there. Yeah, that's a woman that is not found attractive by all men. I can tell you that. Okay, she's a plus size model is what she is. Okay. I'll go with Graham. Is that her name? Ashley Graham. That's the plus size model that I would go over that one. She's really pretty, Ashley Graham. That one I would go. No, not a runway model. She's the runway. What do you see as the Dolphins window, Big O? Do you listen to this show, Ray? Because you're on all the time. What have I been saying about the window? Let's see. Let's see, because we have people that are truly dedicated to this show. I thought you were, Ray. I really did. Because asking me a question like that, folks, what have I told you the Dolphin window is? Let's see, because I know we got a lot of hardcore people like a Ray Sosa and a true Fin fan and a Cap for Life, you know, a Skylar Timpton, a Lofi, a Horn Dog. I see some names here that I see every day. Chase One, Brett Dodger. What have I said is the Dolphin window? Steven Gonzalez is as hardcore as it gets. Karoon as hardcore as it gets. True Fin fan. See? They have your answer, Ray. I have talked about this over and over and over and over again. You will have cap flexibility for 2 more years. Remember, they all made, not all, but a whole bunch of the media locally were talking about a cap crisis. Now you hear people all saying, no, there's options, and no, there'll be a way to. And that's what I said right from day one. No, there's no cap crisis. They have all kinds of ways. And by the way, everyone else will wake up to the fact, because you still hear, oh, they got to sign Christian Wilkins. Oh, no, they'll tag him. No, they won't do either. Okay, they won't do either, and that's $20 million right there. And then they'll do X, and then that's more money there. And they'll release Agba, and that's a whole ton of money there. There's so many ways that they can open up a whole bunch of cash without even doing Tua. And they're still going to do the Tua contract. Okay, so they have 2 more years, as I've said over and over and over and over again. In 3 years, there will be a problem. So you have 2 more years to figure this out. That's why McDaniel will be back, and he won't be fired or anything. He will be on a hot seat after year 3 if he doesn't perform well going into year 4, and I don't know if he even makes it to year 4. But in their eyes, in the front office and with that head coach, they got to figure things out within this next year or 2, because after that, all hell breaks loose. And then if the hell breaks loose, then that's when heads will roll. Okay? They're not rolling now. And then if it doesn't work out and it all is all screwed up, then yes, that will put everyone at risk. The front office, the head coach, everybody will be at risk. But for the time being, I've told you over and over again, do not panic. Do not listen to a lot of the people in the media that unfortunately are misinforming you because they're misinformed, telling you that cap hell is this offseason. Okay? Because it's not. It'll get a little harder next year, but they'll still have the flexibility and enough to do it. It's the following year that they're dead in the water. And they must be elite and get it done in the next year or 2. After that, it becomes a much more difficult process. You better have hit on your draft picks next year, because you'll have the full lot next year. You better have had a monster draft going into 2026 from 2025, because 2026, there will be some serious purging that has to be done. Okay? But for 24 and 25, you have a window for competing. 26, there might be a transition year there. That's all I can tell you. Okay? Anyway, let's see. Big O laughing my ass out loud. It's starting going to give Scranton exams for Dolphin football talk. Would you give the guest a curve? Brett Dodger says 730 days. There you go. The next year could be championship contention, and you could have a playoff win. You could. Let's hope that they can figure it out, man. You know? So concerned about the D-line for next year. That's the biggest question mark for me right now. Mine is Mike McDaniel. I don't worry about the talent. The front office will figure that shit out. They'll find talent. I worry if Mike McDaniel doesn't become a better head coach, that's where the Dolphins are screwed. It doesn't matter. You could have a great D-line. It's not going to save Mike McDaniel's ass. If he wants to do stupid things, it's not going to help. The real problem is Mike McDaniel. It's not talent. You guys panic too much on talent when they've been proving to you that they can find talent. They find guys all the time. So I'm not worried about that. I don't worry about that part of the front office. I love, actually. It's the best we've had here since I was a child. I worry about the head coach. That's my major concern right now. None of the players are my concern at all. Not even Tua, of course, because I know a lot of you are going to say, not even Tua? Come on, Big O. He's not the guy. Let's see. Adolfo, regarding Emmanuel, do you think it's prudent to restructure his contract since we don't have pass rushers or one that we have are injured and Vic is gone? Yes. Agba. Okay, you bring up an awesome point with Agba. But you're also going to have, it's going to be like a difficult situation with him in a way because you need to know who you're hiring as a defensive coordinator. And then if it is Campanelli or Ronaldo Hill, then that conversation's already being had behind the scenes. And like, what do we do with Agba? Can you use him or not? Does he fit what you do or not? And so if they say yes, then that's the kind of deal you can restructure and extend. And if they say no, then you just part ways and you open up the cap space. But that all depends because that's another place you're going to be able to open up money if who you sign, who you name defensive coordinator says, no, I want that guy. I mean, Emmanuel Agba played limited and was productive, dude. It was weird. Like, why didn't you use him more? I know he doesn't fit. I hate that about coaches sometimes. You have no one else. You know, like Mike Gesicki's on your roster. Well, Mike, find a way to use Gesicki. Okay? You know, Vic Fangio. Vic, find a way to use Emmanuel Agba. Even if it's only 1 year, well, what is it better for you to just have him on the bench doing absolutely nothing? I don't know how that makes any sense. And to me, that tells me that you're not a great coach, because a great coach will find something that player does that I can use on my team. And I just never, and Gesicki had plenty of that to help out Miami, and yet McDaniel was hard-headed as hell. And to me, at times, every football coach, every basketball coach, every hockey coach or soccer coach or whatever, all your players aren't going to be perfect. They're all not going to fit your scheme. Maybe they will if you're there for 5 or 10 years because that's been the process. But when you get to some place in the first year or two, you're going to have a couple people that aren't necessarily perfect for your system or scheme. But your job as a coach is to identify their skill sets and say, well, okay, he doesn't fit me perfect, but he does this and this very well. I've got to find a way to implement that on my team. And if you can't do that, I got to question you as a coach. I got to find a way to say, well, wait a minute, man, because I have examples of players that didn't fit whatever it was or weren't perfect, but yet those coaches found ways to use those guys so they can help the team. And to me, that's when great coaching steps in. That's when you know. Like what I've seen with Eric Spoelstra, doesn't matter who the hell you give him, he then changes the scheme or whatever. He doesn't have one scheme that he makes everybody try to fit. No. If we got to run, we run. If we got to play half court, we will. If we got to play full court press, we will. If we got to, whatever it is, a zone, a man on man, he adjusts to anything that he has on the floor. That's why he's exceptional. That's why he is the best coach in the NBA. And at times when I see McDaniel or even Vic in the last year or two, I see guys that at times they're stubborn and set in their ways. Like, no, you don't fit. Forget it. There's no use for you. I don't know how you maximize yourself as a coach and your team when you can't do those kind of things. That to me makes no sense. Anyway, all right, let's do it. Hour number 2 starts right now, and we started off with Manny Navarro in our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro. Exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good? It's the weekend. Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Now we got you, Verizon.
Sorry,
now
man. Usually the mic just starts working when I come on, but it didn't this time.
Nope.
No, I was playing some pickleball here at Plantation Central Park, and actually one of your listeners recognized me, and we started talking a little Canes. He was asking me why Mario didn't take a knee against Georgia Tech and the timeout scenario in the bowl game. So they're still talking about that.
Well, hey, it's kind of like the Titans game with the Dolphins. It's one of those that just it'll sting us forever. It just things. I will never recover from the Fiesta Bowl.
Right.
Never. I can't recover from the Fiesta Bowl. There's no freaking way. I can't recover from Ohio State.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just those moments in our lives and with the Canes or the Dolphins or whatever that, the Heat, that the fucking Allen Houston ball bouncing around the damn rim, and I'll never recover from that shit. That kind of stuff. That there are those moments in sports that I just, it'll stick with me forever. And it's just,
I would love the top 10 Big O moments, worst moments in South Florida sports history. The biggest.
Those are some of them.
Those are some. You got to come up with a list, man. You should come up with a list. I'd read that.
I think, you know what? I think I need to do a show of that. That's a good one there. This off season now. This is good. That's a good one. I like that. My top 10 most painful moments as a South Florida sports fan, because I'm the only media member pretty much in town that openly says, yes, I'm a fan of all the teams, and yes, I will love them and rip them too at the same time. It's all good. You know what I mean?
That's why I love you, brother. That's why you're one of the best of all time.
I appreciate you, bro. You're too kind. The Tim Ice Harris thing.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine called me and he goes, "Oh, dude, this is bad on Mario, this, that." And I go, "Well, wait a minute, dude. He's leaving for an OC job.
Yeah.
Instead of a running backs coach. Now, maybe he wasn't a perfect fit here. Maybe he wasn't completely happy here or whatever. But I also have to look at it for what it is. You are improving in your job. You are going from running backs coach to an offensive coordinator. Do I look at it that Tim Ice Harris is professionally improving his life, or was there more to tell in this story in the parting of ways?
No, I didn't get that sense at all. We exchanged a couple text messages yesterday, and knowing Tim and his family really, really well, I covered Tim when he was the high school quarterback at Miami Northwestern, and when he was winning state championships in the 800 meters. So we go way back. I never got the sense that he was unhappy here. This is home for him. Right. And even if Mario is a slave driver, all of these coaches aspire to be more. Okay, of course. They aspire to become play callers, and Tim is one of those young guys who's in his mid-30s now and was trying to ascend in his career, and this is a step forward, a chance to go work with a guy he's already worked with and be an offensive coordinator at a Power 4 conference.
Yeah. And by the way, Malzahn was just gushing over the guy. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. So you know, it's that's why all of this. I tried to walk my buddy off the ledge, because he's kind of like I am a little frustrated with Mario. But I said, no, dude, this is not something I think you hold against Mario. I think this is a human being improving his stature in life, and he has an opportunity to get closer to becoming a head coach. And you know, I told him, like you just said, he was a head coach already at the high school level. You know, he was a successful coach. So there's no doubt that Tim wants to be eventually a college head coach.
Just like his father, you know, what came on a college staff and came back to high schools and did, like, these guys aspire to be more in life, and they jump around, and that's part of this profession now. There are not assistant coaches that you see logged into one program for very long.
I'm with you there. Yeah. So it's, you know, so who replaces him? Does it get elevated from within? Probably.
It could be somebody on the staff. I know that they've recently brought in an analyst. I think Mike Casano, who has been around college football a long time, was on one of Mario's previous staff at FIU. You know, it could be one of those things where somebody who's paid their dues for a long time, you know, Mario gives them an opportunity to be on the staff here, or it could be one of those positions where, you know, you go out and you bring in a Jawan Sider. Jawan Sider's been one of the best running back coaches in college football a long time. He's at Penn State now. He does a great job. South Florida guy from Belgrade. You know, maybe they go out and Mario picks off somebody from another staff if that's what he wants to do.
If you get anybody from Belgrade, you got a winner, bro.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. So,
we're all winners. All of us from Belgrade, we are all winners. Okay.
Well, listen.
You know I was born in Belgrade, right?
I did not know that.
You did not know that?
I did not know that.
I'm the only guy with no athletic ability born in Belgrade. How about that, baby? How about that? Everybody else in Belgrade can run a 4.4. I can run a 44.4 is what I run. You know, so yeah. Belgrade, baby. Los Cubanos back in the 50s, late 50s and early 60s, when they came from Cuba, they had to go to the sugarcane fields to get work. And
that's
Belgrade, obviously, I believe Evercane is there, right? I believe that's where it's at. And so my dad was working in the sugarcane factories back in the 60s. And so we lived there for a short time. It was like, I think like a year or something like that, and then moved back to Miami after. But during that time, I was born in Belgrade, Florida. How about that?
Yeah, that's a talent-rich area, man. So many unbelievable, the Muck Bowl and all that stuff, the history there.
What is it? Immokalee, Belgrade, and Apopka?
Pahokee.
Pahokee.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. That's the triangle. That triangle that's some shit, dude. Edrin James, Antonio Holmes, Louis Oliver. I mean, isn't Fred Taylor from that area?
Yeah, Fred Taylor as well. Yeah, I mean, you can look up. I think you can go to YouTube and watch the videos of the Muck.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, they have a lot of sports specials on it.
Jesus, dude, the amount of people that have come from that area. I mean, it's like, what was I doing there? Like, I ruined it for everybody else. Like, everybody else is talented, and then I pop up. Like, wow, you know, it's. They probably erased me from the records there in Belgrade. You know, that's right. You know, it's like
they need every town's got to turn out a sportscaster or a sports writer, and you know, I represent West Kendall, you represent Belgrade. I mean, we all got to come from somewhere.
That's it, baby. That's it. I know you were talking about Cam Ward and the fit for the Canes. What are you seeing with him?
Well, I mean, look, he's not a runner, right? I think some people look at him and they say, oh, he's some tremendous runner. He's going to run for a bunch of yards. He's not. He's a guy who buys time in the pocket, which I really, really like, which I think every quarterback needs to be able to do nowadays to be successful with the way defenses bring pressures and blitz from all different angles. He's had fumble issues in the past. Hopefully he cleans that up. He's fumbled the ball out. Hasn't always lost the ball, but the ball scored it free. So that's something he'll work on while he's here. But look, man, the guy's got a rocket arm. He's got the pro body, the pro potential. From a natural fit to me, running this offense, running, what's supposed to be this air raid, having some of the backs that he has to hand the ball off to. It's a perfect fit. This is the kind of guy Miami needs for 1 year to come in and lift the program in year 3 for Mario.
Well, let's hope he can do that, dude, because they really need a field general. They need a guy that can make plays, and then also I think they need a presence, because De'Aaron King, I thought, he brought that, and some of a lot of the guys that they've had in the past, when we talk about Canes quarterbacks, they were always guys that led, you know what I mean? And I think that's something that Canes team kind of needs, a couple of guys to really step up and become faces of their team and leaders. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think this year you're going to see guys like Ruben Bain and Francis Mauigoa take on those type of roles, because now they're not freshmen anymore. It's tough when you come in as a freshman and sort of, hey, this is my room, I'm the boss. But when you started a full season already, floor's open, bro. You can take over that room, you can take over that unit, you can take over that entire side of the football. And Ruben Bain, for all the years that I covered him in high school, I mean, that guy was a leader since his sophomore year of high school. Like, he was like, kids were listening to him when he was a sophomore. So I expect the same with Mauigoa. I think he's that kind of a guy. He did it at IMG Academy. The guys around him sort of fell in line behind him. So when you've got those two guys on your offensive and defensive line, and you get them for the next 2 years, this year and next, you set up pretty good, bro. You're set up pretty good.
Is Mauigoa a personality guy? Does he have that with him? Does he bring that?
He is a.
I'm just asking because of the name. Is he Polynesian or something?
Yeah, he's Polynesian from American Samoa.
Right, because normally those guys are quiet and they're all hard workers and super tough and all that. They have that. You can almost stereotype those kind of guys, because most of them are like that, but they're really not vocal people. So that's why I'm asking.
I guess Polamalu might have been the one exception, right? Well, maybe it's
right.
But I think Mauigoa's, watching him at IMG, when I went down there and I talked to him, he wasn't bashful. Like the other guys on the team, the way they talked about him gave me the sense he was the dude in the room. You know what I mean? Right. So I don't have firsthand evidence, but other than telling you what my perception of what his teammates said in high school, I thought he came in there and those guys fell in line behind him.
Yeah. Polamalu's still talking to this day.
Yeah.
He's I guess when you have loud hair, you got to be loud.
You got to be loud, right?
That's kind of the way it goes. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right. What are you working on in the athletics so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah, this week we came out with those transfer portal winter stories. So if you want to catch up on everything that's happened in the ACC and the SEC, and you're just like, hey, what did this team do? What did that team do? You want to start looking ahead at the schedule. Hey, who's Miami play this year? I got a full and complete breakdown for you of the transfers, because let's face it, there are not many true freshmen that come in from those recruiting classes and make an impact, but transfers certainly do. Yeah. And they have to play, and they're counted on immediately. So if you're sitting there at home and you say, man, I wonder what Louisville did. Miami's playing Louisville this year. Or I wondered who are all the guys Florida State got, or how many of those guys are experienced. You can read up on it. I got you covered in The Athletic.
Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro, and make sure you do subscribe to The Athletic. They've always got some great deals going on. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Have a great weekend. Keep kicking ass in pickleball.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you, man.
You got it. There you go. The great Manny Navarro. Use our code BIG010 at Caneswear. You can get 10% off, baby. That's right. Caneswear.com. Big O10. Even when you go online to Caneswear.com, you can use the code. And when you go in person at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, you give them our code Big O10, and they will take care of you. You'll get 10% off anything. gear, Inter Miami. You want a Messi jersey? You can buy one there. Messi T-shirts, Dolphins, Marlins, Panthers. They got it all, man. So get on down there to Caneswear.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at Caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
All right. Let's see. We have on the chat board, Vox Overlord. McD has resolve. Finns lead league in adversity and lessons learned. Did he learn to stay with the run? No. Did he learn how to win challenges? No. You sure the lessons were learned? Did he learn how to get plays in on time? No. You know, Vox Overlord or a Vox Overlord, you probably are new, or maybe you're just started watching or something like that. This is not really a good show for fans that just want to raise the pom-poms and create positivity just to create positivity. Yeah, we don't do that here. We kind of stay in reality. And Mike McDaniel did not learn a lot of lessons, my man. Okay? How were the pre-snap penalties that were an issue last year? How'd that work out in that playoff game? How many third downs went from 3rd and 8 to 3rd and 13? Yeah. Yeah, no, lessons weren't learned, my brother. So we can make everything up. We love the Dolphins, but let's not lie about it. I love the Heat. Let's not lie about it. Okay? Jimmy Butler doesn't give a shit about the regular season. Let's not lie about it. And Mike McDaniel didn't learn a damn thing. In fact, he proved he was a liar this year because he lied to Raheem Mostert that he would stick to the run. And when it was the most important moment in the season, he failed Raheem Mostert and his team. He didn't learn a damn thing, my brother. He better learn this year. Let's see. Tack loves art. Hell yeah. Oh, make that list. I will. That's actually a really good idea. 10 worst moments in South Florida sports history. Okay? I'm gonna do a show of that. Because when I do that show, I can talk about the individual pain of all those moments because I've lived them all pretty much. So, yes, we will do that. Definitely. Let's see. Terry Porter nightmare. You still have people saying it was the correct call, Ohio State fan. Oh, yeah, that was terrible. That's one I definitely will never recover from. Let's see. Stephen Harris to Vox Overlord. Welcome to reality. Nikolai Roll. Big O, people don't underestimate. We need balance. Even Mahomes, they ran the ball 38 times compared to our 18. Nikolai, you have listened. You agree. You probably think along the same lines I do. And those are the moments that piss the shit out of me with Mike McDaniel. You know, and then I have like the uninformed boasting about Jordan Love. But they don't mention the dedication to the running game and Aaron Jones, which is what helps Jordan Love just have to make a couple of throws. You know, but and then you have Lamar, who's about to win an MVP. What do they do more than anything else? They run the hell out of the ball. So you only have to make a few throws. unless you have Mahomes or Joe Burrow, everyone else needs to run. Josh Allen, they figured it out. Joe Brady took over and goes, yeah, Ken Dorsey doesn't know what the hell he's doing. This dude has to run more. We have to run more. We need to cook. And so they started cooking in the kitchen with James. And they got Josh Allen to run more. You get it, dude. Mike McDaniel does not get it. He does not understand. He wants to be Dr. Passenstein. And that's what he wants to do. He wants to just be pass happy, and you don't have the quarterback for that. If you had Burrow and you had Mahomes, then that's fine, but there's only 2 of them in the world. Only 2 that can actually do that in the NFL. Everyone else would get in trouble trying to run Mike McDaniel's offense. So, you get it, Nikolai. You get it, my brother. Now we need our head coach to get it. Chuck Cooper, Van Ginkel to Philly soon. Why? Because Vic, they drafted him here. He lives here. He's got a house here. He'll be here. They'll re-sign him. I'm not worried about that one. Big O, hear me out. Big O bingo cards for the show. I sent Sean a mock card. That's funny. But then how do we, confirm it? Let's see. And the bingo card has Chris Greer, best GM in the league. I have been in the industry for 35 years. I am not a financial expert, just a guy who loves crypto. Buy the dip. I told you about Flow. Sean, light up that victory cigar. Blind-ass fan. Pocket passer. Do you watch the show? That is awesome. That's fantastic, bro. That was great, Chad. That was awesome. So perfect. Oh, man. I know what my biggest disappointment in South Florida sports history would be, the Miami Dolphins versus San Diego. Yes. 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 Hook and lateral. Yes. I know what you're talking about. Stroker's greatest moment ever, by the way, as a passer. He played his ass off in that game, dude. I'm with you. Oh, play action is Tua's best friend, especially with his accuracy. I know, Horn Dog, you get it also. You actually get it. So, as great as Jim Kelly was, what did they do that we never did? They ran the shit out of the ball, bro. Thurman Thomas, they ran the hell out of the ball. And then they would have a backup that would also, Davis or Porter or whatever. They had different guys that would also kill you and just add a few more yards. It's older than dirt, man. It's not really that hard to understand. So we'll see. Big O, when can trades in the NFL start to happen? I think once the league year starts, I want to say. Something like that. I think you can start making those trades, like early March. Once the league year starts, then I think those trades can start happening. Yeah, the Bitcoin climb is happening right now. It's I think it's approaching 42,000 right now. It looks like, it's 41,749 right now. And what's happening is the grayscale dump has ended pretty much. There hasn't, not ended. There's going to be some, but it's now going to be a lot less. And then the outflows are going to start to outnumber. The inflows will start to outnumber the outflows. And you're going to start seeing a climb now. Okay. Because those people are done. FTX was part of that. The miners also had to unload. So now we start to climb. Because now the inflows are just going to start getting crazy. And right now, Bitcoin is up 5%. So it is moving in a nice pattern at this point in time. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. And where's Shido at right now? Is it climbing or is it down or what? See what we got. You know, the one that's been super strong has been Pendle. Shido's right under a penny at a nice buying zone. Let's see. And Pendle has been just tearing it up. It's nice to see those of you that took advantage of the kryptonite dip. You're already watching it pay off. I think kryptonite is up like 10 or 11% the last time I checked. So it's a beautiful thing. I tweeted this out, what was it, yesterday. For those of you that are into the crypto biz and you're an investor, I want you to check this out. Okay, if I can actually bring it up. Damn it. It is slow. Oh, I see. I only got one bar here. That's why. Yeah, there's some interference here. And so I can't bring it up. Let me see if I can do it this way. A little easier. Maybe on the iPad, since I'm on their internet here, and it's a lot stronger. Yeah, yes, it moves a lot better on my iPad. Let me read this for you because it's actually a pretty cool stat. If you're an investor, this is something that you want to take into account because it's just going to make an absolute monster difference in the upcoming weeks. Okay. Now you have to remember that the European and Asian ETFs have not gotten off the ground yet. Japan, China, Germany, France, England, all these countries, you know, Switzerland, all these countries are going to start their own Bitcoin ETFs too. Okay. So that hasn't happened yet. The 9 Bitcoin ETFs are purchasing 12,700 Bitcoins a day on average. Do you know how much the miners produced? You know how many Bitcoins were produced on the same day yesterday? Oh, you're right. 783. So if miners are producing on average 783 Bitcoin a day, and the ETFs are scooping up 12,700 Bitcoin a day, and in late April, do you know what that 783 becomes? 360 a day. Because half, it's called the halving, because half will be produced. And those demands are only going to go like this. You know, those that don't know and don't understand this, they don't follow this, and they're from the periphery on the outside. They kind of see it from 47 to 40, and they think it's some kind of scam, and they don't understand really what's going on and what's being built. You know? And that's the part that they don't get. Now, trust me, when we get to the 60s and we start approaching the all-time high, that's when the general public will explode. Oh, my God, I should get in on this Bitcoin. Not when we were talking about it at 16.5, not at 25, not at 30, not at 35, not at 40, not at 45, not at 50. No, they're going to start talking about it when it's at 65 and 75. Hey, maybe I should get into that Bitcoin. Yeah, of course you should. Go ahead. So just, you know, it's just a patience thing, as we've been telling you since 2022, that this was about 24 and 25. Okay? We told you many times a couple of years ago, hey, this is about 24 and 25. We are here. This is the year where we start this. And it's already, I mean, Bitcoin is up, I don't know how many, couple 100% from where it was in January 1st at 16.5. You know? So you're nearly 200% up almost. 100 and something, whatever, some ridiculous number. So it's crazy what's about to happen, man. So there you go. What else do we have? Yep, Kenneth Davis. That's what I mentioned. They had Davis and Porter were two of their backups, and those two burned the Dolphins left and right. Christian is into Arbitron. They are a damn good company. It's growing. They got a lot of TVL. DeFi has exploded with Arbitron. They're part of that group where you can do about 10,000 transactions a second. I don't have Arbitron, but I would tell you it's a good investment. So Christian, you're doing well, I would imagine, sir. Chad says, let's see is a good one for bingo. Yeah, that one right there is a good one right there. It's a beautiful thing. That should be another big O bingo. He's right. He's right. It's a beautiful thing. Damn right. Love and Life. It's another one. Those Bills teams always ran the ball. Then they would abandon the run in the Super Bowl, except the first, and would get rolled up. They fell into that mistake too. What can I tell you, my brother? They missed that field goal. They should have won that one at least. You know, that one they did everything to win. Yeah, McDaniel gave Mostert 9 rushing attempts and forced 39 passing attempts. Hey, but don't tell that other guy that he thinks they learned their lesson. Oh, is Triple J the Miami Heat MVP? Yes. Yes, he is, Troy. Brother, they've gone to shit without him. They've gone to complete crap without him. It's amazing, dude. By the way, we are here at Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines, like we tell you all the time, and they've got some great deals going on right now, so take advantage, folks. Come on out here and take advantage of a great event going. The lot is overflowing. When I tell you they've got more cars than spaces to park them in. They're parking on mediums. They're parking all over the place. So they do this because they've got the customer appreciation sales event going on right now. And they are the #1 volume sales dealership in the United States. I used to say Southeast United States for many years. Now I say the #1 volume sales dealership for Acuras, of course, in the United States. And it's right here in your backyard at 15601 Pines Boulevard. Right now, the all-new 2024 Integra. Have you seen the Integra? That thing is beautiful. $329 a month. The TLX 2023, $399 a month. The RDX 2024, $459 a month. And the 2024 MDX, $499 a month. Come on down here, by the way. If you own or lease a vehicle, Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber will take care of you. Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, all the amazing people out here, man. They will make it happen for you. And we're coming towards the end of the month here. So this is when they want to sell cars and roll them off the lot and get more numbers out there and continue to be the #1 volume sales dealership. You know how you become the #1 volume sales dealership? By making a lot of great deals out there. So come on down to Craig Zins, Acura of Pembroke Pines, and tell them that Big O sent you. And we would appreciate that immensely. If you buy or lease a vehicle, please mention our name. Very important. Very important. Thank you. One of the most painful games was the Stojanovic missed kick on the foot to the right in the mid-90s playoff game versus the Chargers. Marino led the team all the way down to the field goal. Yep, that would be on my list. That would be the hook and lateral game, right? And then, obviously, the Olindo Mari game. Those would definitely be on my list. Yep. Lofi says the ETF is telling us the large institutions are not willing to put money in Coinbase and our little exchanges. That is not true, my friend. That is not true. No. Do you know who are the biggest stockholders of Coinbase? BlackRock, ARK Investments. So a lot of these ETF companies are the biggest investors in stock in Coinbase. And I don't know if you know this, the 10 biggest miners in the world, okay, mining companies in the world, BlackRock is heavily invested in 8 of them. ARK Investments is 2, and a few others. They are investing in every aspect of crypto. In fact, ARK Investments, BlackRock, Coinbase, they all got behind this new coin, and it's called Ondo, okay? And all these some bitches are behind Ondo, okay? Ondo right now is at 22 cents, but I want you to look it up. They they only have the interesting part about this, which is normally not good, okay? But they have only 1.4 billion coins in circulation out of 10 billion. It's not good. But something's up with this, because I want you to go look up Ondo, O-N-D-O, and I want you to look up the partners that put this together and are backing it. It is the biggest players in the world financially. This company is going to blow up. Something's going to go down with this company. Okay. Ondo, their mission is to make institutional grade financial products and services available to everyone. We believe that blockchain technology has the potential to improve both the infrastructure of and the access to financial products and services. We also believe that the best technical improvements need to be combined with the best practices from traditional finance, including investors' protections, transparency and reporting, legal and regulatory compliance, intelligence and robust product structuring, working with the best service providers and top-notch client service. And if you see the amount of companies that are backing this thing up, I believe Coinbase is in on this one too. Okay? There's a lot of, how should I say it, Lofi? There's a lot of incestuous relationships going on right now. And the banking and financial world is so much more heavily in. It's like listening to this piece of crap, Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan, and he's shitting all over Bitcoin, right? And if it was me, I would wipe it out. And then there he is, the lead investor with BlackRock into the Bitcoin ETFs. Yet he's shitting on Bitcoin. And then his European arm, he did this a couple of years ago. This is like 2 years ago. He was shitting on Bitcoin. And the European arm of JP Morgan, see, the thing is, you can't hide anything in the blockchain because it's an open ledger. Everybody knows and everybody can track the addresses. The European arm of JP Morgan is scooping up Bitcoins. Do not listen to what they say. Do what they do. Okay? Everything they tell you is a lie. Everything they're doing behind the scenes is absolutely the opposite. They are as heavily invested as you could imagine, Lofi. So actually, it's the opposite. And look into Ondo, because it's only at 22 cents right now. And I'm not a financial advisor. I haven't invested myself yet into Ondo, but I am super intrigued by it because the power players behind it is ridiculous. It's redonkulous what's behind Ondo. Okay? So check that out if you want. ETF is a off-ramp for a potential collapsing dollar. Yeah, well, I mean, that's where Bitcoin's going to save a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be burned. Did you see what the European banks are doing? The European banks now, and the American banks will follow soon with this. Watch this. So the European banks now want to institute a system into their computer system, in their banking system, that will then, listen to this, also follow social media that to protect against bank runs. Why do you think they tell you that? What have I told you about this? They don't have your money. If you went to Bank of America and you went to any of your banks, all of you went to go get your money, you'll never get your money because they don't have it. Okay, we've explained fractionalized banking here and what they've done and how the last president and Trump lifted the restrictions and banks could, the second you deposit your money into your checking account, they can loan out 100% of that. They can invest 100% of that. They have very little of your money actually in the bank. So now in Europe, because the banking system is crumbling here in the United States, all over in Europe, everywhere, we all have the same shitty English banking system that they gave us, 200 years ago. And so we use it, and it's a negative type of system. That's why everybody's in the red. That's why fiat currencies are crumbling everywhere. So now the EU wants to input something that would track, just in case, early stages of a bank run, so they can then close the bank off and stop the customers from getting their money, like they've already done several times over the last couple of years. Have they not? Have we not seen the examples all over the world? People closing banks. Bank of America had an issue last year, and people couldn't get their money for like a week. So I'm telling you, this is going to get ugly. Okay? Dollars will be crumbling all over the world. Lesser countries have already lost it because they didn't have as much as some of our countries do. But eventually it's going to happen to England. It'll happen to the United States. It'll happen to France. It will happen all over the world because everybody has the same stupid system that does not work. So, Big O, who would be your ideal head coach for the Dolphins right now? Why would I entertain that stupid question right now, JR? Why would I do that, bro? Mike McDaniel is the coach that I want to stay here. I want him to figure it out next year. Why would I be talking about another coach? I'll tell you what's going to happen next year if he screws up. You're going to want him out, but I don't want that to happen. I want McDaniel to figure it out. I don't want another head coach. I know the trajectory where he's headed if he continues to screw up like he's done the first 2 years. But I don't want to talk about another head coach, dude. And why would you talk about another head coach? Is he available? Is it really realistic? Is he under contract now? What stupidity are we doing with this hypothetical? Where are we going with a dumbass conversation about a coach that isn't here, isn't going to be hired, or maybe isn't even available? Tell me, how does that conversation actually become a productive one? Or is it just a waste of time? Yeah, I don't really have a lot of patience for some stuff. Yes.
Ravens pulling out all the stops this Sunday.
What happened?
Legends of the game, Ray Lewis and Ed Reed.
Is he bringing the white jacket?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
Halftime performer.
Where's that white jacket, Ray? I'm sorry, what? What?
Michael Phelps, the game ball delivery.
Oh, where's that bong?
And the captain is Jonathan Ogden.
I don't have any jokes for Jonathan.
No.
And what was the fourth name?
Well, there was T-Pain and then Ed Reed.
Please, can you keep T-Pain and take that Dolphins song with you? Because that was the worst Dolphins song in the history. It's T-Painful is what I call that. It was sung by T-Painful because that's what that song is. T-Painful. Who else?
Ed Reed was the other one. The only one
I got no jokes for Ed Reed.
All right, that's it. That's your big Legend of the Game Ravens rollout this week.
Well, wait a minute. I do have a joke. South Florida. Wasn't it South Florida that he was there for like an hour? Or where was it? FAMU. FAMU. Yeah. Yeah. Ed Reed, too good for FAMU. FAMU wasn't bright enough to figure that out. The man's telling you the truth, and you don't want to face the truth, FAMU. Shame on you, FAMU. Does Acura Pembroke Pines take Bitcoin? I don't think so. Not yet. I don't think there's any dealer, not even Tesla yet, is taking Bitcoin. They're about to start accepting it again. Lofi says they invest in companies to be on the board to control the flow of Bitcoin, etc. They're not putting money in the. Oh, no. They're there to benefit and make a lot of profit from those mining companies. Oh, it was Bethune. Okay, there you go. Either way, Bethune-Cookman, you're a bunch of morons.
That was my fault. I told him Florida A&M.
Yeah, you said Florida A&M. Whatever. Bethune-Cookman, you're a bunch of morons. Jesus. Ed Reed is there to help you to giving you the truth, and you should look in the mirror and say, damn right, we need to fix this.
Why would you think that a Hall of Famer, a big name athlete's going to come to the school and just be like, oh, okay, it's cool.
Right, yeah, let me fail.
Great. Let
me come here.
Let me work out under the tent, the gym under the tent.
Right, exactly.
What are you
I'm going to come here to be a loser with no resources. No, he calls your ass out. We need resources. That's how you win. I was at a radio station that had 0 resources, and they're asking us to try to actually do a job. And by the way, I pulled an Ed Reed on his ass, too. I told him, you provide nothing, dude. You got nothing because you're a schmuck. Let's see. Vrabel ends up where? I don't know, dude. I think he waits for the next cycle for next year. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because Washington is waiting for Ben Johnson. Who's left? Seattle. I would hire Vrabel if I'm Seattle, man. I like Vrabel. Is there a possibility that Crossman kicks rocks? Yeah, but I'm afraid he made it. Unless they haven't found the coach, and unless they have a coach, they don't want to get rid of this one. I don't know. But I kind of get the uneasy feeling that he's here to stay again for this year. So, JR says, I meant scheme-wise, personality-wise, player interaction, discipline-wise. Who would you? No, I'm not. Again, there's no reason to entertain anything like that. That's a waste of time, JR. A waste of time. Mike McDaniel is the coach. That's who we got to live with right now, and let's hope he figures it out. See, you're already hoping he fails. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? After it's failed, then we'll talk about it. But at the moment, I'm hoping Mike McDaniel figures it out. That's what I'm hoping. So, Coinbase collapses in a big run from outflows. We get to hold the bag. Coinbase gets the blame. Institutions get the Bitcoin. Nah, it can't happen that way because you're what's it called? That every other day they're going over your what you owe and all that to make sure that the money is all there. It's all verified through the what am I? I'm brain farting right now with that word, but they are constant, like inventory, but it's not inventory. It's another word that I'm looking for. Yeah, whatever the hell it is, but they are constantly scrutinized for that, especially Coinbase. Coinbase has been the most forward-thinking, what's it called, crypto site out there. Regulated. There you go. Regulated. They are heavily regulated to make sure that what happened with what was it, FTX doesn't happen again, or Celsius, or any of those. So I disagree with that. And again, all of these other institutions have invested in Coinbase. ARK Investments has the most shares of Coinbase than anybody else. I disagree with that. They've got the money there. Remember, now that institutions are getting in, Lofi, this is why CZ was booted out. This is why the FTX stuff and everything was cleared out. They kind of got all the bad actors out and kind of cleared it out, so that way the real institutional money will start coming in, because the institutional money did not flow in until you have a certain level of regulation going on or rules. And so now that you see that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not labeled as commodity, as securities, and they're commodities, all of a sudden now you have institutional. Remember, we've had retail in Bitcoin, which is us. Now we're going to have institutional money come in, which is all these investment firms. And we're going to have, we already had a little bit of it, but now we're going to have countries coming in to buy Bitcoin. So that's going to get crazy also. El Salvador already started with it, but others are going to follow suit. The only country that's really stupid is our country. Okay? But then again, we're led by Democrats and Republicans, two group of really stupid individuals. Kind of happens. What are you going to do? They're not very capable of doing anything right. They're about to sell 130 million of Bitcoin, which that 130 million is about to turn into $1 billion in a couple of years. You could actually keep it in your reserves instead, but these morons are going to sell it. Why? Because you have terrible leadership. That's why. But what are you going to do? Anyway. Adam Zalka, thank you for the love on the super chat, my man. Very nice of you. Big O Belichick not having any job options makes my nips all tingly. I got to tell you something. I was dead wrong here. Like dead wrong, dude. Because first of all, I would never hire the guy personally. Right? But I was convinced somebody would be stupid enough to hire Belichick and give him total personnel control also. I'm like really proud of the owners in the league that had openings, and not one of them gave in to giving that guy the power. Because that's like stupid. You can trust, if you want to trust Belichick as a coach, you can go ahead and do that. And I can understand that one. Okay, there's a discussion to be made there. But on the personnel side, there is no discussion. He is a cancer when it comes to that. He's horrible, dude. He makes Jeff Ireland look like a star. And I got to tell you, wow, I could not have been more wrong. I thought for sure there would have been at least one owner that would have been stupid enough to say, oh, no, he's the GOAT, he's the best. No, give him everything. We need to save our franchise. And I thought for sure somebody was going to give Belichick the keys to the kingdom. I would never do it, but I thought for sure somebody. And that's where I have to say, my God, I was wrong on that one. Did you expect him? Did you expect him, somebody to give him the keys to the kingdom?
The team that I thought would do it would be the Falcons.
Yeah, so did I.
Because that's the owner
Falcons,
that I said.
I even thought Washington would do it.
See, I don't know the new ownership. That's the only thing I don't know. I mean, I know with new ownership, they usually want to make the big splash. Or the big thing. But, I mean, again, it's when you look at all the owners, the Falcons were the team that would, to me, would spend the money, one, to bring them in.
Right.
And then two, to do whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah. The Chargers would have been the other one. The only thing is they're cheap. But they went Harbaugh, and that's going to be more expensive than even Belichick. So they're Spanos is going to spend.
Yeah, but he's hot now. So, again, he just won the national championship. He's coming off that. Whereas Belichick the last 2 years.
And Spanos has to make Spanos has to, the owner of the Chargers has to make a splash. Why? He's a tenant of another stadium. He's the team that nobody wants in Los Angeles. Nobody cares about in Los Angeles. So in order for him to make it care, he's got to do something so special and so radical. And so he hopes that this works out. But I was wrong as hell. My God, I was wrong on the Belichick thing. I thought somebody would be stupid. I thought for sure it would happen. And that he's sitting there and he's not going to have a job. And by the way, it's over for Belichick. He will not get a job next year. There's no way. If you think he's out of touch now, fresh off the year, what do you think he's going to be a year removed at 72 or 3 or whatever the hell he is? You're never going to do it. Unless he comes back and he gets humbled and he says, okay, I just want to be a coach. But again, what GM is going to feel comfortable telling Belichick, no, I don't want your guy. I want this guy. And then you got to fight with him about playing him and all that kind of stuff. And if you have to disagree with Belichick, it's uncomfortable. You're disagreeing with the GOAT, and then he's going to be all pissed off and all that. It's a really uncomfortable situation. I just don't think anybody, if it doesn't happen this year, I don't see how anybody would give him control next year. I mean, the dumbest thing about hiring Belichick would be to give him personnel control. And if clearly he wants that, that's why he's not getting a job. Because the personnel people in Atlanta that met with him, they probably went back to Arthur and say, hey, Arthur, we're going to be neutered here. And they weren't willing to do that. And that's probably the whole thing about personnel between those. How do you work with that guy that way? It's hard.
Are there any coaches that are GMs other than Belichick?
Yeah, Andy Reid has a GM, but he has final say.
No, I know that, but there's not a GM role under. Like Belichick didn't have.
No.
Yeah, it was just Belichick was everything.
Yeah.
That there's no team now that still has that kind of.
Nope.
That's why it's not gonna. I mean, teams have figured it
out.
Well,
Harbaugh will have that. He'll have final.
Well, he'll have a
general manager
to be in charge of, to be able to get rid of if it doesn't work out.
Right. Yeah. Big O, do you view Bitcoin as a currency or commodity or both? Both. Because lots of people will use it as, I would not use it as a currency. Okay? It's digital gold. It's a store value. It's a commodity. I would not ever use my Bitcoin to go buy a T-shirt or go buy a plane ticket or go buy a car. I'm not giving you an ascending asset for a descending anything. Okay? Because if I buy a car, it's a descending asset. If I buy a house, that's an ascending asset. Okay, maybe you can do some of that with Bitcoin, but I'm not buying a T-shirt. This Pearl Jam shirt is a descending asset. Not buying sneakers. I'm not going out for dinner for Bitcoin. I'm not doing any of that. Now, there'll be a ton of people in the world that will do that because it'll be the currency of, I would imagine, Argentina eventually. It already is. In Colombia, it's the US dollar and, of course, Bitcoin. Is it common between the people in El Salvador yet? No, but it's a slow build, those kind of things, because it's something new for everybody. So it will be a currency in Brazil. It will be a currency in Colombia. It will be a currency in some of these places that have poor governments and their dollar is disappearing, basically. So, yeah, it'll be currency for a lot of people. For some of us, it'll also be a commodity because it is digital gold. And it is also, there's only a finite amount. There's only 21 million. When that's done, it's over. There'll be no more. You can continue to print dollars. You can mine more gold and silver. You can just keep finding more of that. It'll only be 21 million, and then it's over. So it's definitely a commodity and definitely a currency. Let's see. What big name coaches would ever come to a clown show dumpster fire to answer to a loser like Greer? I don't know, man. None, I guess. Giants giving Dable one more shot if he's available. Yeah, I mean, that's stupid shit. With all the transfers being so common and growing, how much do you think this will stunt players' development with the NFL becoming like the NBA where it takes more years? Oh, yeah, there's no doubt that there'll be a lot of stunning here because guys are going to be switching schools. So there's going to be players. It's a great point on your part. In fact, it's going to be people like Chris Greer, Marvin Allen, and Reggie McKenzie, who often find the Zach Sealers, right? I know Cater Coe had a shitty year this year, but I still have hope for the kid. He played a really good year, the year before, but they find people that are undrafted. And you're going to find players in the late rounds that are going to be pretty damn good players, like let's say maybe an Andrew Van Ginkel, and you're going to find guys in the later rounds. I won't say Van Ginkel is a good example. He's good that you found him in the later rounds, 5th, 6th, 7th rounds. But my point is, some of these guys that transfer from one school to another and don't fit this scheme or that scheme and had issues, and then they have some talent, but they're not completely polished or whatever, they're going to fall to the back end of the draft, or they're going to fall out of the draft. And some of these teams are going to find some of these gems. They're going to polish up these coals and make them diamonds. Kind of like what the Heat does now, where they find guys because, like you just mentioned, you're on top of it, that in the NBA, that's kind of happened too because of the one and dones and the transfers and all that. We don't have real great development anymore in college basketball. Players aren't staying for 4 years with Luke Carnesecca and Dean Smith and Bobby Cremins and Jim Boeheim and you're there for 4 years with Denny Crum, and you're going to become a hell of a player because you've got 4 years of Bobby Knight teaching you basketball. These one and dones, they don't have that kind of teaching. So they don't get to the league prepared, where they used to come more prepared and they were easier to scout. So as you pointed out, Gordon, it's harder to scout in basketball because there's less film and less history on some of these guys. That's going to happen in football as some of these kids fall through the cracks because they didn't fit this scheme or that scheme, didn't get along with that coach and transferred over and only had a year of playing or whatever. Yeah. It's going to happen. Yeah. And the good thing is we have people in the front office that know how to find players. And that's pretty cool. So one thing that they've been able to do, we can't say they're great at hiring coaches yet because McDaniel hasn't hit and Flo is a failure. But talent-wise, the front office can find talent. And they have made, this front office specifically has made 2 of the greatest trades in football history. With the San Fran trade and the trade for the offensive lineman, what's his name? The Bong boy? Tunsil, Laramie Tunsil. What they got out of those trades was just absolutely ridiculous. All right. Big O is a crypto expert, and he says he's not because anyone can always learn more. But wow, Big O makes sense. We try, my brother. But I am not a financial advisor by any stretch. Do your own homework. Oh, if Andy Reid retires. Let's see. Oh, Big O just insulted the sponsor behind him. No, I didn't. Why? Because I don't buy Bitcoin for a car? Everybody knows it's a depreciating asset. Unless you buy an NSX, right? You buy the Acura NSX, or as we learned, the Supra, the Toyota Supra. Holy shit, dude! All right, but there's only a couple of those kind of cars that become like ascending assets. Then yeah, like I told you, the house is an ascending asset, but most cars, come on, man. I'm not buying any car with Bitcoin. Just not. So when I get my electric car here next year, towards the end of this year or the beginning of 25, I'm going to get my electric car here. I will be buying it with dollars. You will not get my Bitcoin. No one gets my Bitcoin. Let's see. Per Adam Schefter, the Dolphins will be meeting with former Charger head coach this weekend about their DC vacancy. There you go. Oh, enough with this. I'm not a financial advisor stuff. You're Andy Reid. I'm just going to give you the keys to my kingdom and my money, and you invest for me what you say. That's very nice.
You're going to train him with nuggies?
That's right. Yeah. Now do it with those nuggies. Love those commercials. Love those commercials. Every time Hero plays, we lose like an 8 seed. I have a Supra. It's tripled in value at my buy point. I never knew that about Supras. I mean, Mr. Zinn, he keeps certain cars, right? I mean, the man owns all the dealerships, right? But he has his own personal Toyota collection. Okay? And I did not know this until I started working here and then doing shows over at Toyota of Hollywood. And there's a Supra there. It's worth like $186,000. Another one, it's worth like $300,000. And they didn't purchase them for that price. They were like $40,000 cars at that time. I like nuts, dude. Crazy stuff. So yeah, sometimes there are certain cars that will become ascending values. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then maybe you can try with those. But most cars, yeah, I'm not buying I'm not using my Bitcoin. No. You're not getting my Bitcoin. I'm not getting a Tesla with my Bitcoin. Tesla devalues their own cars. Just ask the people that bought them a couple years ago how they watched them keep lowering the prices. That's not very they're not very happy with that. By the way, they just took a dip in their stock and everything because they talked about bad numbers. Rosendo, good afternoon, Big O Nation. Just taking a quick break before I continue teaching. Wishing Big O and Mr. Stanley, thank you for your time and effort. Thank you, sir. Lofi says Tesla's first generation with the for life charging deal might be a collector's item. I don't know. I love Dot, John Wayne. I'm a huge Polka Dot guy. Huge. And Polka Dot 2 is coming, which will allow them to scale faster. And once Polka Dot 2 comes over, and that will allow them to grow because the parachain deal did not work out. I think Dot really starts to take off. And I scooped up a ton of Dot in the $3 and $4 range. So I am a huge Dot guy. I expect Polka Dot, not a financial advisor by any stretch. I am just a guy that loves crypto. I expect Dot to get to $50 to $60 easily in this bull run. So those of us that bought it in the $3 and $4 range, get ready to time that baby a whole bunch because it is going to go for an all-time high. So I think Polka Dot's going to be a monster. You got it in the 30-40? I think 50 to 60. Yeah. Huge Polka Dot guy. So yes, love Polka Dot. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Alan Blanco and the great people at 3A Graphics in Hialeah, custom printing and embroidery. The Celtics, they ran out the heat right out of the building, 143 to 110. Miami drops to just 3 games above 500, 24 and 21. Tomorrow, they will take on New York and the Knicks at 3 o'clock on the road. Tonight, the best team in town, the Panthers, take on the Penguins on the road at 7 o'clock. Sid the Kid, by the way. It's interesting, huh? Sid the Kid's playing in his 19th season. Where were you all when he was getting like 7 and 8 and 9 concussions? Where were you telling him to quit? Like you did with Tua, you bunch of wussies. Guy has 27 goals and 21 assists in his 19th season. He has 577 goals, 973 assists. He has a total of 1,550 points, 13 hat tricks. And if he listens to some of you, he would have retired after his 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th concussion. And he didn't. And look at a 19-year Hall of Fame career. But some of you idiots think Tua was injury-prone and concussion-prone and it's over for his career. I give you Sidney Crosby, who plays a much more brutal sport and gets slammed into walls a hell of a lot more than Tua ever will. And he's got like 9 concussions in his history. You people that wanted Tua to quit, you couldn't be more ridiculous. UNC, number 20 in the country, beat the Lady Canes last night, 66-61. Katie Meyer's team, nice comeback, but unfortunately fell short. Cheyenne Day Wilson led the way with 18 points. Sunday, they take on Duke at 2 o'clock. Saturday, the UM men will host Pittsburgh at 2:15. UM's 13-6, 4-4 in the conference. Pittsburgh is 12-7, 3-5 in the conference. Tomorrow at Rick Case Arena, it is the Nova Southeastern University Sharks at 14-2, hosting Rollins College. They are 9-0 at home. Let's see if NSU can make it 10-0. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar, 786-618-1443. Let's see. There it is. I can make my mark on that bingo card. What did I say? Big O, don't know if you explained it, but if Mike Vrabel doesn't have a head coaching job, do you feel the Dolphins? No, he's not going to take it. Stop with that nonsense. He will take just like Belichick. Belichick and Vrabel are not taking coordinator jobs. They will take a year off. They will come back for the next round. Vrabel will get hired. Belichick will not. They're not going backwards, especially Vrabel. Shib is my dark horse to be big. I got a bag of Shib, but they have built the blockchain. They've got DeFi going. They've got the stable coin. They've got NFTs. They're building out a metaverse. They have done everything to create an ecosystem. I need to see businesses building on that blockchain, and I need to see total value locked in there to really have hope that SHIB can really grow. I have a bag of SHIB. I've sold off some of my bag of SHIB, to be quite honest. I had a bigger bag of SHIB, but it was all profits from the last go around when I hit it that time on that go around when it went 15K, 15X. And then I took my profits. I took my investment and profits and left a nice little bag there. But we'll see. I got it there. I'm holding out a little hope, but we'll see. I'm not going to give up on it, but it's there. It's not something that I tell people to invest in because I still haven't seen enough on the DeFi and the TVL side. I need to see more on that side. Let's see. Lewis said, I'm sure he will have great post-playing career. CT doesn't happen instantly. Watch the documentary. Doesn't matter, Lewis. You do what you love, my brother. Just the way it is. Cops don't even get to live that long sometimes. Sometimes they die right on the job. Check out the documentaries on that one, too. Lots of people. And by the way, they're doing it for a lot less money. Lewis. Okay? So a fireman goes into, smoke-filled buildings and puts their lives at risk every single day. Check out the documentary. So there's a lot more people putting their lives at risk for a lot less money than Sid the Kid. So you take the bad with the good, man. That's kind of the way it goes. Lots of people, the guy that probably is in construction his whole life, you think his body is pretty good? Hey, Sean, how's your body after being a Marine? Yeah. How's that knee? Bone on bone? Sean walks around with a bone-on-bone knee. Thanks to paratrooping with the Marines. He made a fraction of the money that Sid the Kid made. Right? You've only made like 10 million. Sid has made 100 million. Right? Something like that.
There's a give and take with everything in life, my brother. Ask a teacher after they've taught 200 kids a day for 30, 35 years and then they retire. Ask them how their mental health is. Give and take with everything, man. He may not even have CTE when it's all said and done. No guarantee. No guarantee you get CTE. Big O, if Mahomes is Bitcoin, can you rank your QB's crypto analysis? See, now that's some good shit right there. Holy crap. You son of a bitch. That is a great one right there. Let me go to the standings. So that way I have like the quarterbacks in my face. And I can see and I can actually think of. I mean, I can already tell you Joe Burrow's Ethereum. Right? I know why you're doing it because you're wondering where is Tua in the crypto part of it, right? And you think I'm probably going to make him like some really bad crypto or something, Tron or something like that. Okay, so we're going to go definitely Bitcoin is Mahomes. And then Burrow's the number 2 quarterback in the I would go. For me as a passer, I'm going to go with the passer even though he doesn't stay healthy, which is, become a problem with Joe Burrow, unfortunately. But I will go with Joe Burrow as Ethereum. Okay? All right, so now the question is, what do I have as my third quarterback is the question. Who would be my third quarterback? And then, by the way, do I give him USDT? Because I go by market cap. Do I go by Binance, which is fourth, but really the third in crypto coin? Because USDT is a stable coin. So I can't go with that, right? And then Solana is there, or XRP. I'm going to go Solana as my third, not Binance. Okay? I'm going to go Solana as my third. I know Binance is worth 3 times the amount of Solana, but I'm going to go Binance. I'm going to go Solana as my third. Yes, sir.
I was thinking of like CJ Stroud. Is he Huddle? The new kid on the block? Like,
yeah, but he's not up there.
Oh, but would he be around like that for the new, or is Huddle up further on the crypto than what I'm thinking?
Oh, but CJ Stroud's somewhere in the middle of the pack. I haven't gotten down there yet.
Oh, I was thinking he was an up-and-comer right now, so that's why I was.
Yeah, but he's not
the huddles and the things like that.
Yeah, but he's not my third guy. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm going because I don't know where you're going with the third and fourth. So
yeah, it's hard.
I was just thinking, with the new kids on the block, one of them was Huddle, so I was thinking CJ Stroud, since he's the hot new thing, would be like a Huddle.
I got you. Why is that? Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, listen, I love Tua, so I'm a Tua guy, but I can't put him ahead of those guys. I cannot put. I'm not in my right mind. I would never put him ahead of those 2 guys. Those 2 guys are special, man. Those 2 guys can sling the ball. Who's my third? From Josh Allen to Lamar Jackson. Even though I think Tua is a much better passer than Lamar, but I got to give Lamar with the legs. I got to give him the props. I mean, this is tough, dude. Purdy. I'm going to go Purdy because he's a consistent passer. So I'm going to go Purdy as Solana. Okay? Josh Allen, I'll give him 4, and he is Binance. Okay? Then we got to go with Lamar. We'll give him the 5th spot because he's having a terrific year, even though I think he's a mediocre passer. So we make him, let's see. So if we go Binance is 4, I'm going to go Cardano 5 over XRP because I'm not as big of an XRP believer as I am a Cardano believer. And I'm more of an Avalanche believer than I am an XRP believer too.
So we'll go Lamar Jackson is Ada. Cardano, that's 5. Who's my 6? So I got to go by what you've done this year and give you the props that you deserve for this year. Yeah, I'm thinking Jared Goff also. That's exactly the guy I'm thinking. Yep. So Jared Goff is my 6th person, and my 6th person is going to get Avalanche. Okay, so Jared Goff gets number 6. Okay. I'm going to put Tua number 7. All right. So Tua will be polka dot. No, chain link. Chain link. I like chain link over polka dot. Then polka dot. So the link is Tua. Tua is the link. So that's 7, right? Okay. So who's my 8? Who's my 8? Who do I go with at number 8? You know what? I think I got to go Baker Mayfield, bro. Because of the year he had. Let's go Baker Mayfield is number 8. And Baker Mayfield will get XRP. Okay? Number 9 will be Polygon. And 10 will be Cosmos. Okay, so our 9th quarterback. Let's give it to CJ Stroud for the year he had. What the hell, right? CJ Stroud. And then our number 10, rounding out the top 10. Matt Stafford is good. I'll go with Matt Stafford. There you go. That's a good one. Who suggested that? Lofi. I like that, Lofi. Matt Stafford as my 10. Okay? So there you go. That's our top 10 crypto. So Matt Stafford gets Cosmos, and CJ Stroud gets Polygon. A little Matic action for him. Okay? So Tua is Chainlink. Big O, any thoughts on? Oh, I would love Ron Rivera as our DC, man. I would love Ron Rivera as our DC. I know Ron Rivera. So I gotta tell you that I have a bias for Ron Rivera. I've known him for years. Used to smoke cigars with him all the time at the combine. I've even played that promo of Ron Rivera. Hey, you're listening to the Big O, my cigar buddy. And so I have immense respect for Ron Rivera. I'm biased, totally biased for Ron Rivera. So I would love for him to be the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins. I would not mind that. A great man, a great defensive mind. That would be absolutely fantastic. But I think that you do it from within to bring a little bit more stability to it. But we'll see. I know you're going to bring people from the outside because you have to have a thorough process. You know, and maybe the person you bring from the outside knows exactly the talent you have and the people you have to keep. And then he tells you the plan he has for those people, and then you can agree with him. You know, sometimes that could happen also. Yeah, Mac Jones is FTX. Yeah, I would put Mac Jones at FTX. I'm taking notes, getting ready for my crypto wallet. There you go. I like it. What else do we have? Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, Binance, Cardano. I should be able to profit with those. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Now, and they should move well. Now, listen, doubling, 5 timing, 10 timing your investment with some of these is going to be hard. Like Binance, it's already at a market cap that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Cardano's the one that I think people are going to have I think Cardano is an absolute steal still where it's at right now. I think there's a couple of coins for me that are just absolutely awesome and things that people should take advantage of. ADA is only at 17 billion and it's at 48 cents. I think it's a hell of a deal. Polygon that I just talked about, it's at 75 cents, 7.2 billion. Polygon's ecosystem and everything they have is just ridiculous. I think it's going to go to several dollars, $5, $6, $7. Polygon, maybe even to $10. I think it's a steal where it's at right now. Polkadot at $6.60, I think is a very good deal overall right now. There's still some that haven't really exploded yet. Cosmos at $9.68, I think is going to move to $40, $50. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen, and I'm invested in those. So I have strong belief in those. There's still some really good deals, right now going on in crypto that you can take advantage of. Manta, by the way, is one that is climbing in a big time way. Axelar, I think Axelar is still under $1 right now, if I'm correct. Axelar is at 92 cents. I think it's another one that's going to end up moving. I'm not into Axelar, but I like Axelar. If I had the money, I would invest in Axelar. I think Kryptonite is still at a steal right now before it truly takes off. It has not taken off yet. And it is up right now. Let me see. Wow. While I was talking, it went up 19%. It went up to, it's getting close to 8 cents. It was in the 6 cent range. Now it's about to approach 8 cents. So it was due for a big pump, So Neutrons moved up 10%, but still at $1.12, it's actually in a really good place. Bitcoin, by the way, up over 5%. It is approaching 42,000. So it is absolutely moving, man. It's nice to see 41,800 right now for Bitcoin. Where's my Shido? Is Shido moving up? That's another one that I started to take a interest in. Shido. It's up 3.8% now. Shido. Has it gotten to a penny? Let me see. Is it still under a penny? I think it's a deal under a penny, actually. So there you go. That's a little crypto stuff for you. Again, do want to remind you. Let's see. Let's go through some birthdays. How about that? Yes. Let's do a little birthdays we have not done on the show for October 26th. Ellen is 66 today. Sasha Banks, wrestler. I know the name, so didn't have to ask you on that one if it was legit. 32 years old, Sasha Banks today. Let's see. Some singer named Sapphire is 21. I have no idea who she is. Wayne Gretzky, 63 years old. Vince Carter is 47. Colin O'Donoghue is 43, the TV actor. Race car driver Sergio Perez is 34. Eddie Van Halen, the GOAT, was born on this date in 1955. We lost him in 2020. From one cool guy to another, Paul Newman was born in 1925 on this date. We lost him in 2008. Anita Baker. Yeah, she is 66 years old. We used her song for our wedding song. Jose Mourinho, soccer coach, is 61. And now my screen has frozen on my iPad. There we go. It unfroze now. And then it froze again. And now, okay, now I'm moving it. All right, here we go. Who else is celebrating birthdays today? That's it. That is it, my friends. No more real big names or anything celebrating birthdays. Now, we go to a little music history on January 26th. What happened in the history of music on January 26th? Let's see if we can find out here for you. And, man, this thing is moving slow today. All right, here we go. Did I hit it or what? Waiting. There we go. In 1968, on this day, Pink Floyd played their first gig without Syd Barrett. It took place at Southampton University, where the band was supported by a group called Tyrannosaurus Rex, which would later become T-Rex. And why they're in the Hall of Fame, I have no idea. Not Pink Floyd. I'm talking about T-Rex. Why they're in the Hall of Fame, I have no idea. In 1970, John Lennon wrote, recorded, and mixed the songs for Instant Karma. You know it's going to get you. It ranks as one of the fastest released songs in pop music history, arriving in stores just 10 days after Lennon laid the track down at Abbey Road Studios. In 74, Ringo Starr had the number one song in the U.S. with his cover of You're 16. I'm Not. In 65, Petula Clark's Downtown was the number one song in America. Jimmy Page played as a session guitarist on the track, so it was the first U.S. number one. Did you guys know that? I had no idea that Jimmy Page was on the session for Downtown with Petula Clark. That's amazing, dude. In 74, the Doobie Brothers opened their first European tour in London. In 86, on this date, Leonard Skinner guitarist Alan Collins, who survived the 77 plane crash that killed two band members, was in a car accident that paralyzed him from the waist down and killed his girlfriend. That band had no luck, dude. In 2000, members of Rage Against the Machine tried to force their way into the New York Stock Exchange. It was part of a video shoot for the song Sleep Now in the Fire that the Radical band was doing on Wall Street and filmmaker Michael Moore. And that, my friends, is what happened today in Musica history. All right? A couple of other music notes. Tonight, you can catch Flo Rida. And if Dougie Fresh is listening, Dougie, right in your backyard at the Pensacola Bay Center, Flo Rida tonight. Tonight, you can also catch Tiesto live at Live here in Miami. Saturday, Kansas will be at the King Center for the Performing Arts in Melbourne. Remember, Kansas singer Ronnie Platt. I will interview him this afternoon, and it will be posted on the website on our Twitter page later on. The Zach Brown Band, if you want to enjoy them on Saturday, you can at the Broward Center, the All Rene Theater or All Ren Theater. I don't know how it's pronounced. And then Saturday, Tiesto is at Dare Nightclub in Fort Lauderdale. Sunday, Travis Scott at the Kaseya Center. And Sunday, Tiesto at the Seminole Hard Rock Live in Tampa, the Event Center. And then Kansas on Sunday, I'll be there at the All Ren, whatever theater in Broward Center. So if you happen to be going to the Kansas concert on Sunday in Fort Lauderdale, tap me on the shoulder. Say hi. Would love to meet you, man. You got something there? You found something? Oh, it sounded like you.
No. I was going to bring up something because you know where the LA Clippers are building their new stadium?
Of course. It's right across from Randy Donuts, close to the LA Forum. I know exactly where it's at. Right down the street from Roscoe's Chicken. Fat people know food. We know landmarks.
Okay. Well, on that property,
right next to the old horse track,
it's going to be a 2,915,000 square foot Intuit Dome. Right?
Yes, sir.
On the corner, there's going to be a 795 square foot home of a 70-year-old lady who would not sell her property.
Oh.
So they built around it. It's a wall that goes around the property. And then right there's the Intuit, and across the street is SoFi Stadium.
That's awesome.
Now the property went from $30,000 when she bought it. It's now worth $600,000. And she would not sell to them. 70-year-old lady only speaks Spanish. She says she yells at them every morning about the construction, but nobody talks to her.
Well, you know, Parky, she's going to make some extra money.
Yeah.
Plus, her property's only going to go up in value when those things are finished.
Yeah.
It'll be $1.2 million.
And kudos to the Clippers, too, by the way. They paid to have the tree in her yard kind of spruced up a little bit. Even though the wall goes around it to where you can't really see it, they helped her out and concreted in her area.
He doesn't look like a bad dude.
No, she's the only one that didn't
I'm talking about the owner of the Clippers.
Yeah, no, she was the only one. They offered.
He looks
said they
like
made
he's
good
a little
offers,
crazy,
but
he doesn't look like a bad dude. He looks like he wants to do good.
Yeah, she said she misses all the bakeries and stuff that were there, but no.
Well, she's got Randy's Donuts like right down the street, bro.
She's 70-year-old with a walker. She's not going to Randy's Donuts.
Have it delivered.
You think she knows right to the app there? She's probably got an apple.
It'd be so dangerous if I lived right by Randy's Donuts. Oh God, I love the glaze. And they have a, I forgot what they call it. I think maybe it's like a jumbo, but it's like a glaze that's this size. In fact, if you go to Voodoo Donuts in City Walk in Orlando, again, fat people, no food. Okay. All right. I may not be a financial advisor, so do your own homework, but I am professionally fat. Listen to me when it comes to food. Okay? Listen to me. What?
You're a very basic guy when it comes to food, though. Yes,
but I can tell you
you're a fat guy. Don't get me wrong. We're fat guys, but you're very basic on your food.
Okay, but I do like my glazed donuts.
It's true.
Okay, I can tell you where there's a great glazed donut.
If you like your glazed donuts, yes.
Exactly.
He's the guy for you.
I'm the guy. Yeah, I'm not going to eat the raspberry cream-filled donuts. And
we've made some road trips for glazed donuts.
Right, exactly. I mean, I will go to the ends of the earth for glazed donuts, okay? I mean, when I was in Canada for a week with Greep, I mean, I stopped at Horton's Donuts or whatever, Tim Hortons. Everybody goes for the coffee. I love their freaking glazed donut. Tim Hortons glazed donut is one of the most underrated glazed donuts on the entire planet. But anyway, going back to our big donut. Glazed raised? The big one at Randy's? Okay, and then at Voodoo Donuts, the big glaze, I think it's called the Texas donut. Because it's big ass donut. And it's a big giant glaze. Oh yeah? Oh, yeah? So it's also called Texas Raised? Okay. So I guess everybody calls it. So Randy's Donuts and Voodoo, although Randy's Donuts is slightly better than Voodoo. Voodoo does a nice job, by the way. I give Voodoo a lot of credit. Voodoo Donuts are good. But, wow. Yes, Evan, I love V-Chain. I'm a big V-Chain guy. I got a ton of V-Chain. I am waiting. I loaded up on V-Chain all the way down to $0.015, I want to say. Because I had it at 5, 6, and 7 cents for a long time, a couple years back. And then this, as you know, in this dip, if you follow, since it seems like you're a V-Chain guy, and V-Chain, by the way, is now adding gaming and all that, which is really, really cool. I thought they did a really smart job moving their offices out of China and going to Europe to try to kind of raise their image a little bit more outside of the whole China thing, because people have a hard time trusting China, which... Anyway, So, but I do like V-Chain. They don't have a ton of competition right now. It's kind of like Chainlink with Pyth. That Chainlink doesn't have really. There aren't a lot of oracles out there right now, or nothing close to Chainlink. Same thing with V-Chain and this inventory thing that they do. Nobody's really close to them right now. I like V-Chain too, and you have to be very patient with V-Chain because I've had it for 3 years now. You have to hang in there. Let's see. I had the pleasure of seeing Chester Bennington as the lead man. Yes, for STP. Okay, I remember that. I saw that at the BB&T Center. That was all right. I had more of a pleasure of seeing Chester Bennington with Lincoln Park. Actually, that's really where I wanted to see Chester Bennington. I saw that one. Put it this way. I like Axl Rose with AC/DC 100 times more than Chester Bennington with Lincoln Park. With STP. Yeah. It was a better fit. And with Axl's voice, when I heard he was doing a tour with AC/DC, I said, "Man, this is interesting." And when I saw it, it was awesome, especially the Bon Scott songs. That was really, really cool. Long's Donuts in Indy is the best. You must have, Big O. Just off 16th Street. Cash only. Yeah, cash only, huh? That's old style right there. All right. When I go to Indy, maybe next year I'll go to Indy. I might go this year to the Combine. I don't think so. I was thinking about it, but then I talked to a couple of people that I want to see what the availability was, and it was going to be kind of tight. And I was like, yeah, we'll catch up at this other event. And I told him because there's another event I'm going to go to later on, but it's out of town, and that's where I'll see him. So I'll probably see him there instead. Wow, you can really go on all the new 32 QBs, 32 coins. Amazing. Wow. I could do that. Yeah. Dandy's Donuts, best glazed donut in South Florida. Yes. No doubt. Best glazed donut in South Florida is Dandy Donuts. Yes. And do you want me to tell you which of the Dandy Donuts is the best location? Okay. It's the one it's off of I-75 in the Turnpike. It's the location. Let me put it on my Waze here to make sure I tell you the right one. Margate. 3101 State Road 7 off of in Margate. Okay, that would be my favorite one. Then it would be the Deerfield Beach one at 1422 South Federal Highway, then the one on Atlantic Boulevard. Kind of all close, but if you gave me a choice, Margate. Oh, and by the way, best part about Margate over all the Dandy Donuts, drive-through. They're the only one that has a drive-through. That shit is cool. I don't even have to get off because normally you have to get off on all the Dandy Donuts. But the one in Margate, which happens to be the best one, I think, out of all of them, that one has a drive-through. And it's easy on and off either I-75. I think it's I-75. Yeah, I-75 or the Turnpike you have access to. So, yeah, check it out. Margate. Okay? That would be my favorite out of all of them. Let's see. Chuck Cooper, Ondo. Yes, Ondo. I talked about it already. I just talked about it a little while ago. Oh, okay. Ondo. Yeah, and you can find it at crypto.com. I know that they have it. Remember, coinmarketcap.com. You put any coin in there and then scroll down about halfway. It'll show you all the platforms that sell that coin. Coinmarketcap.com. Yes,
it looks like Carlos put an A-N-D-O and then Chuck.
Oh, yes.
Chuck answered him back.
Yes. O-N-D-O. Yes.
Yeah.
Ondo.
Yep. So that was the conversation there.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Ondo is a really interesting one, dude. Just do your homework. And you see the power players behind that one. You're like, holy shit. What are you people up to? Like, I want to invest in it just because the smartest, richest people in the world are putting this thing together? Okay, what's going on here? I want a piece of this. Just follow the smart money, bro. That's what happens. That's what you got to do. 70 is not old anymore. Well, dude, when you're 57 and your body's falling apart, it feels old also. V-Chain is underrated right now. I agree, John Wayne. I completely agree. I would keep buying V-Chain right now. I have no problem. I mean, I have a ton of V-Chain, so I'm fine. But for newbies, yeah, I could get into V-Chain. Big O, correct. Chainlink. Yeah. Chainlink is phenomenal, dude. Chainlink is going to be a monster. It'll go, I think, to between $60 to $90, maybe even $100. I think Chainlink actually really could get to $100. I really do. Chainlink is just, there is nothing that comes close to Chainlink at all. When sports and business collide, folks, there is something called the KSDTCPA Sports Business Report. '49ers are banking, and they did something that is really impressive. Not getting to the NFC Championship game. No. Or winning another Super Bowl eventually if they do that. No. They reached a new naming rights deal for their stadium. You know, it's Levi Stadium. Well, they just reached a $170 million extension, which will now run through 2043. Now, here's the best part. This is the stud stuff that went on with this. They had 10 years left on the current contract. Not one, not two, not three, not four, not 5 years left, not seven, not 9. 10 years left on this contract. It was averaging $11 million per year. Now it will average $17 million per year. Which, by the way, what do you think that ranks in the NFL now? $17 million per year. Wow, that's good, dude. SoFi's number one at $31 million per year. AT&T, which is Dallas, 17 to 19, they say. And now this will be third place with 17. Yeah, Dallas Stadium is so huge. 100,000 people, you know. Jerry can't win championships, but he definitely can make money, bro. That's for sure. I know they won with Jimmy. I get it. But what I'm saying is now on his own without the great coaches, he doesn't win shit. So, anyway. I bought over 4 million SHIB a couple of years back just holding. But did you buy it when it pumped? Because, like, I got it at 6 and it got to 91 at 15 times. I took my profits, baby. I took my investment and my profit. And now I'm holding. All I'm holding now is profits. Although I got to be honest, I sold some SHIB actually. Yep. Because I got into this new coin. It's a new blockchain. It's a young blockchain that's growing now, and so I'm a fan of it. And it's called Shido. It's interesting how I swapped Shiba for Shido. And so Shido is up 5.5% now. I'm up. I got it at a little over half a penny, 5.5 cents, 5.5, 55,000th of a penny. In other words, 5.5 under a penny. And now it's at just under a penny, 9/10 of a penny, something like that. And let me see. Yeah, still 9/10 of a penny right now, 9.25 at this point. So it's getting close to getting back to 1 penny. It's been at 1 penny. It was at 1.2 actually, but now it's at 9.2, under a penny. And I think Shido can do. It's already got total value locked already. It's already got its DeFi going. It can produce 10,000 transactions per second. So it's one of the faster blockchains in the world. It's just a young blockchain, and the market cap. The other thing that I love about it is that the market cap is only $78 million. The circulating supply is 8 billion, by the way. So it's got I think it's pretty much, if I'm correct, yes, I think the entire supply is out. The fully diluted market cap is 120 million. But I think this one's got, and again, I like taking chances. This one's a little bit more risky than, would be VeChain or something else like that. Gala, by the way, Gala Games, who I'm huge on. One of the things I always said about Gala that they needed to add, they didn't have their own blockchain. They just built their own blockchain. They just announced it yesterday, the day before. So now they're going to have businesses build on that blockchain and have more games, and they're going to expand. So I know that the two Gala owners are suing each other and all that stuff, but the Gala Games, I think, has a ton of potential. See, but that one is not as risky. I feel good about those. Those are established ones, and they've been around for several years. They were already around with the first bull run, but they weren't finished. Now they're more finished, and they're ready to take off in this bull run. Shido is just new, and this is the first, and they're going to be part of this first bull run. It's interesting. I like taking. That's why I take some chances on low market cap coins, because those companies have a lot of room to grow. That's why I like Neutron and Kryptonite and Vanar Chain and Pendle. These are not big market cap ones, and a lot of them have already been paying off for us. Those of you that went with me on Pendle at $1.34, okay, it's at $2.57. We're making bank on Pendle. Pendle has not believed in this dip. Pendle has fought the dip the entire way. It's been amazing, the run by Pendle. But I like taking chances. It's easy to go with Bitcoin and Ethereum because I feel like I'm going to make money there. ADA, I'm going to make money. Polygon, Cosmos, VeChain, Hedera, Polkadot, Chainlink, Avalanche. I love these. Illuvium, I love Gala, Immutable X, Decentraland. These are, I'm a big believer in these, but then there are others that they have smaller market caps, the Jasmines of the world, the Atlases of the world, the Shidos of the world. These are the ones that, like SHIB in the last bull run, that I took a chance on, and we made money. We made money on the SHIB back when we called that one. Immutable X, throughout this whole bear run, I made you guys a ton of money with Immutable X. I gave you Immutable X at $1.71. And right now, Immutable X, I gave you Immutable X at a year and a half ago at $1.71. And Injective Protocol, not Immutable X, Injective Protocol at $1.71, and it's at $34.86 right now. Okay. By the way, it's at $34, and that's down from 42 because of this dip. And I gave it to you guys at $1.70 August of 2022. And this was in the middle of a bear market when I gave you Injective Protocol. So these are some that you gotta diversify your portfolio, heavily carried by Bitcoin and Ethereum, because those are the money makers. Those are the permanent studs. And then you add other Class A coins like a Polkadot, like an Avalanche, like an Injective Protocol, those kind of things. And then that third level is where you go and you try to find small market gems that can easily 30, 50, 100x. And that's what I got: Atlas and Jasmine and Shido and Neutron and Kryptonite and Pendle. And those smaller ones are the ones that I'm hoping On a couple of those, I hit a 30, a 40, a 50x. Okay. Pendle, we're already at 2x. So let's get ready, baby. Let's start. Let's get this thing rolling. So it's good stuff. It'll work out. And again, do your own homework. Understand who's backing these companies up. What is the money they have? What is the market cap? How many coins are out in circulation? Because you don't want too many coins out, or they are going to release, let's say, 10 billion, but only 2 billion's out. That 8 billion there, that could be released into the market, and that would then drop the value of the coin. You understand? You know what we do with our money? That all our presidents are stupid idiots and they keep printing money and killing our dollar, right? In 8 years, George Bush Jr. printed $6 trillion, killing the value of our dollar. Then Obama, in 8 years, prints $8 trillion in 8 years to kill the value of our dollar. And then Trump prints $8 trillion in 4 years, devastating our money. And now Biden, I don't know where his number is going to end up, but every president beats the other. So I don't know if he'll pass Trump's $8 trillion in 4 years, but he's going to get close. He's going to get mighty close or pass him. So, the opposite is the other way. That's kind of the way they do things in crypto. Less circulation, you have more value. Here our presidents just print more money to devalue. That's why inflation gets there. It's because of printing all that money. Okay? But, whatever, you guys can make up anything you want. But if you keep printing money, there's no way our dollar ever grows up. It's just going to go like this, like it's been doing for 100 years. But whatever. Anyway, so, that's the other thing I encourage all of you to learn about Bitcoin heavily. You will learn more about how mismanaged our money is by all our presidents. And then maybe you'll stop actually doing the stupid thing, thinking that any of these idiots are the solution. Okay, because anybody that tells me Biden or Trump is the solution, you are freaking clueless. Just want you to know. You have no idea. Okay? You just go ahead and do your little culture wars. But when it comes to money, you're a total screw up. Yes, sir. What were you going to say?
Turn the mic on. How about that? Little trivia question for you.
Okay.
There are 4 teams, so I'll give you that. Their head coaches played for that team that they now are the head coach of. Can you name the 4 players or teams?
What? Wait, the head coach played for all 4 teams?
No, played for the team that they are now the head coach of.
Dan Campbell played for the Lions. He did.
1.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's the only one?
Nope, there's 4.
Oh, there's 4. Oh, you talk about in the NFL.
Yeah, NFL head coaches right now. There's 4 of them that played for their...
Let me go look at the standings again. Okay. All right. Where are we at here? That's an interesting question. Come on. Okay, we don't have all day. All right, standings. Here we go. Okay, Sean McDermott definitely did not play for the Bills. Mike McDaniel can polish shoes in the NFL. Salah, I don't think, played in the NFL. Patriots don't have a coach. Baltimore, they do. No, he played for him. Gerard Mayo is number 2. That's right. They do have a coach.
Number 2.
Okay, Baltimore Ravens, John Harbaugh did not play. Cleveland Browns is that no, it's not him. Pittsburgh Steelers, Tomlin did not play for the Steelers. The Cincinnati Bengals he did not play. The Texans he played. D'Amico Ryans is the middle linebacker.
3.
The Jags coach is Peterson. He played for the Dolphins and the Eagles, not the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Indianapolis Colts who's their coach? Who's the coach for the Colts now? Tennessee does not have a coach right now, right? They didn't name a coach. Kansas City, Andy Reid, he was in kick, punt, and pass, not in the NFL. Vegas Raiders. Pierce did not play for the Raiders. He played for the Giants.
Yeah.
And he had one more he played somewhere else. I think a small play. He did not play for the Raiders. Broncos definitely not. Peyton. Chargers. They don't. Well, Harbaugh. Harbaugh played for the Chargers. He played for the Colts, the Chargers, the Bears. Yes, that's it.
There's number 4. The only one I had to look up was Pierce because I knew he was a player, but I didn't realize he didn't play for the Raiders.
He didn't play for the Raiders. He loved the Raiders.
Yep.
He grew up a Raiders fan.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I knew if I went through the
there's the
standings, I could figure it out.
Harbaugh became the 4th.
Okay, that's interesting.
2 of them hired this year. Think about that.
Yeah.
Players now, I think because of Dan Campbell success, they're looking at it a little bit more now.
Maybe.
Not necessarily that all of them are raw guys, but they're looking at the player and saying, okay, X's and O's, maybe something there.
Yeah, but
Harbaugh's been around too, so don't get me wrong. But I mean,
it's funny. It's funny because Campbell's raw and McDaniel's raw, but it's 2 different kinds of raw.
It's raw and Riri.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Because Campbell's raw is tough guy raw. It's tough guy challenge raw. It's toughness raw. It's
trust me raw. You saw the one the video they had. I know because we talked about it, but it's like I didn't think you would be able to get, I guess, the buy-in from guys.
Oh no, me neither.
But once you, as you said, if you can show a player what you can do for them and elevate them,
win.
They start winning. They've bought in, and now when he gives out it's not like he's like, hey, let's go bite everybody's kneecaps. No, he's like, hey, trust in me.
Right.
Trust in the guy beside you. He's
and the
built
results
that
come
culture now, and it's you can see it, man. It's not even just the rah anymore. It's just like they bought in. They believe it. We see what you did for us. We've seen you elevate Jared Goff. Not necessarily him, but his coaching staff and things like that. And it's
everybody. But what he did with Goff, and obviously, and his offensive coordinator, and he built a staff too.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Staff.
He built a great staff around him.
Now he's going to get tested now because
now he's going to start getting rid of. Yep.
But that's what comes with success.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's kind of the way it goes, unfortunately. Remember, folks, we're going to have a shooting contest next Wednesday. Top Gun Indoor Range. We'll put the address for you up there. It'll be on Wednesday. We'll have a trophy and everything for the winner. We'll have other prizes and giveaways too. So we'll have a 2nd and 3rd place prize also. But we'll have some fun, and everybody that comes and competes in it, I will give them a Big O t-shirt. Okay. So, it's our first ever. I'm going to try to see if we can make it every quarter. So every 3 months, but it's really helpful if we have a successful one, so come on out, support us, man. Come on out. Even if you're just going to hang out, just to check out the competition. If you want to do that, Top Gun's a pretty big place to come to. So come on out and join us. 12015 Southwest 114 place. Literally, it's right off the turnpike in 120th. When you get off and you make a left and you come to that light, there's a little shopping center there. It's right behind that shopping center. Okay? Where you see the hole in the wall and Odyssey Arcade and all that. By the way, they should be sponsors because we're giving them plugs all the time now. But anyway, and they do make some good food. By the way, their conch fritters are some of the best conch fritters in town at Hole in the Wall. Oh, those things are good. And the sauce that they use for dipping, man, those things are good. But anyway, so join us next Wednesday, all right, the 31st of this month, 7 p.m. at Top Gun Indoor Range. We're gonna have fun. AI-led shooting competition. So it scores it automatically for us and everything. So it'll be really cool. Check it out. Okay. Join us at Top Gun Indoor Range. All right. We're out of here. We thank Cam Wolfe. We thank Manny Navarro. We thank Larry Schlossberg, of course, and the great people out here, man, and Mr. Zen and everybody that makes it nice and easy for us to broadcast out here, folks, and get it done. I appreciate all of you out there. We will see you on Monday morning. Remember, if you're a rock fan and you love Kansas, Ronnie Platt, who's the lead singer now, and he took over for Steve Street, who was the original singer back in the day. Although, no, they actually had the kid with the curly hair and Fight Fire with Fire. God, what was his name? It was kind of like a Hispanic type name that he had. so they had another singer in between before Ronnie. Ronnie was on this underground band that a lot of people don't know called Shooting Star. And I kind of like Shooting Star, man. I probably will talk a little Shooting Star with him because I just their first album is just an album that I love, absolutely love since I was a kid. Since I got it as an 8-track back in the day. But anyway, so I'll have Ronnie this afternoon, and we'll post it on the platform later on. So late this afternoon, early evening, look for an interview with Kansas singer Ronnie Platt. We're going to go see Kansas on Sunday. Maybe even do a little backstage and hang out with the band. I've met and hung out with the band a whole bunch of times. Usually when Kansas comes to town, I have a different member join us because that's one of those bands that I got a little bit of a connection with, and it's really cool. But they're always really nice to me, and I love, and they know how much I love their music. I've always been a huge Kansas guy. I'm a big prog guy. I love prog rock overall, and Kansas is maybe the kings of that with Yes right there. So if you're a Kansas fan, Ronnie Platt, and if you happen to even know anything about Shooting Star, then you're really going to like it because where the hell are you going to get any of that? You know what I'm saying? But no, we'll talk plenty of Kansas, and I hope I see some of you at the Kansas concert on Sunday at the Broward Center. On behalf of Sean Stanley, who I thank immensely, as always, for getting it done here on the platform. I appreciate all of you out there, everyone that sent in a super chat, Cash App, or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. You can send in a Cash App or Venmo anytime. You can make a Bitcoin donation, which you all know as a crypto guy. You know those are my favorite donations because that's the donation that will continue to grow and grow and grow. It's like you gave it once and it just continues to give for the rest of my life, which it's a beautiful thing that you're doing there. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate all of you out there. We'll see you Monday morning at 10 a.m. right here on the platform. Have a great and safe weekend. Go Dolphins, Heat, Marlins, Canes, Panthers. Do it, baby.
This is the